Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Wherever you're at in the world, welcome to Last Raps Baseball's live commentary of Major League Baseball. Today, we are going to be bringing you the Atlanta Braves and the Philadelphia Phillies. It is the back end of a doubleheader that the first game was completed a little earlier on this afternoon, as they had to play two today as a makeup game for earlier rainout. And so today we are going to be bringing you game two. It is a fantastic pitcher's duel. It'll be between, or potentially shaping up as a fantastic pitcher's duel between reigning Cy Young Award winner Chris Sale and hopeful of the 2025 Cy Young Award, Zach Wheeler. And we're going to give you the starting lineups, first of all, for the visitors from Atlanta. Leading off and playing in right field is number 13, Ronald Acuna Jr. Batting second and doing the catching is number 30, Drake Baldwin. Hitting third and doing the designated hitting today is number 20, Marcell Ozuna. In the cleanup spot playing first base is number 28, Matt Olson. Batting fifth at third base is number 27, Austin Riley. Batting in the sixth spot and playing second base is number 1, Ozzie Albies. Hitting seventh in left field is number 8, Alex Verdugo. Batting eighth in center field is number 23, Michael Harris II. Batting ninth at shortstop is number 2, Nick Allen. And they're going to be facing Zach Wheeler, who takes an impressive 6-1 record to the hill. He's worked 70 and 2/3 innings. He's allowed 48 hits, 19 runs, 19 of which have been earned. He's walked 14 and struck out 88 and pitching to a 2.42 earned run average. Now your starting lineup for the hometown Philadelphia Phillies. Leading off at shortstop is number 7, Trey Turner. Batting second and doing the designated hitting is number 12, Kyle Schwarber. Hitting third at first base is number 28, Alec Boehm. And the cleanup spot in right field is number 8, Nick Castellanos. Batting fifth and doing the catching is number 10, JT Realmuto. Batting in the sixth spot and playing third base is number 33, Edmundo Sosa. Batting seventh in left field is number 37, Wes Wilson. Hitting eighth and at second base is number 5, Bryson Stott. And batting ninth in center field is number 23, Johan Rojas. And they're going to be facing Chris Sale, the reigning Cy Young Award winner, who has a 2-3 record on the year. He's worked 61 and 2/3 innings, allowed 63 hits, 25 runs, 23 of which have been earned, walking 16 and striking out 78. That's your starting lineup. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. We appreciate you guys for popping in on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. It is Braves and Phillies when we return in just a couple of moments. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Ronald Acuna Jr. coming to bat here as Zach Wheeler has completed his tune-up tosses, and we are ready to get this one underway from Philadelphia. As we mentioned earlier, the Phillies and the Braves. This is the second end of a doubleheader here today, as both of these two teams went at it earlier on. And the final score in that one was a 5-4 for the Phillies. It was 5-10-0 for Philadelphia, 4-13-0 for the Braves. Unfortunately for the Braves, after the ball game, they put the starter A.J. Smith-Shawver on the injured list as he left after only 2 2/3 innings. And early reports are with a strained elbow. So here we go, as it is Ronald Acuna Jr. to lead it off here against Zach Wheeler. And the first pitch of the ball game is a fastball at 97, swung on and fouled off the foot of Acuna. Right out of the gate, he has already fouled one off his leg. He's wearing quite a bit of protection on the left leg as well. He's got a shin guard and he's also got a knee guard on. I haven't seen anything like that since when we do the Japanese games. Yuma Mune, the third baseman for the Oryx Buffaloes, it looked like at first he was wearing a catcher's shin guard as he had fouled some balls off of his leg, but that's exactly what it looks here for Acuna. As the 0-1 pitch is on the way now from Wheeler, it's 97 that misses upstairs, and the count runs even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. We got Dinger in the house today. Welcome, Dinger. Glad you could make it in. As there is a changeup that is waved at and missed. The count goes to 1-2. Our friend Dinger sometimes makes it into the late night NPB games, and so we're happy to have you poking your head in here. Haven't seen you in a while, Dinger. Hope you're well. As Wheeler ready to go again, kicks and fires. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count goes to 2-2 on Acuna Jr. Not sure what kind of crowd we're going to attract for this one here today. We sometimes get some decent crowds for the MLB like we did on Monday. And sometimes it's just me talking to a couple other folks, but we'll see how it works. There's a fastball at 97, swung through and missed. And Acuna is in the books. He's gone for the first out of the inning. So one up and one away. That's going to bring up the catcher and Drake Baldwin. Well, for Baldwin, he's having himself a very enjoyable season this year. He's hitting .337 with 5 homers and 15 runs batted in. As Baldwin comes to bat, he was a third round pick of the Braves. As there's a fastball that is swung on, it is grounded over to third, fielded neatly by the third baseman Sosa, who fires to first, and Baldwin's in the books on a ground out 5-3. He's out for out number 2. So 2 gone here, and that'll bring up the designated hitter in Marcell Ozuna. Dinger says he hasn't watched as much NPB this year as he did as much NPB this year as just MLB. Yeah, the NPB, we've got to pick up the pace a little bit here because interleague play is coming up as there's a fastball that misses outside, and it's now 1-0 to Ozuna. So starting in the month of June, there's 18 interleague games, and I'm really interested to watch how that shakes out. As the right-hander kicks and fires, there's a fastball that misses upstairs at 98, and the count's now 2-0 to Ozuna. Our NPB coverage has been, I'd say, sporadic at times. It's just some of it's the schedule, some of it's my own schedule. But our goal was to do 150 games this year as that breaking ball is swung through and missed, and the count is 2-1 between MLB games and NPB games. And after we conclude today, and once we get through the month of May, we'll be at about 54, 55 games. So we're a little ahead of our schedule. As that fastball misses outside, and the count now runs to 3-1 on Ozuna. But anytime we can get an opportunity to watch a good pitching matchup, and we'd like to see that, even if it's only for 6+ innings or so innings, as the 3-1 on the way. It is a fastball swung on, and this is fouled off into the feet of Ozuna, and that's going to run the count full to 3-2. Oh, Dinger says he's heading up to Toronto for the Phillies and the Phillies series. Yeah, I got a few recommendations for you, so I can slowly pop them in here for you as we give you the call here, Dinger. Is it your first time to the city? So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Our friend God is great in the house tonight from the land of the rising sun. Appreciate you there, Ken, for popping by as the 3-2 pitch is on the way here to Ozuna. It's a fastball that misses outside. It's going to be ball 4, and Ozuna's going to be aboard with a walk. And that is going to bring up the first baseman and Matt Olson. Defensively tonight for Philadelphia, from left to right field, it is Wilson is in left, Rojas in center, and Castellanos is in right. Around the horn from first to third, Bohm is at first. The second baseman is Stott. At short, it's Turner, and the third baseman is Sosa with the battery of Wheeler and Realmuto. As the first pitch on the way is swung through and missed by Olson, and the count is quickly 0-1. Dinger says it's his first time to Toronto, but he has been, it is Vancouver and Alberta he has been to as well. Well, Toronto is kind of neat. It's an interesting city. Breaking ball that is swung on and grounded foul past the bag at first base. It's now 0-2. God is great. Says, aren't you going to do Japanese baseball tomorrow night and the night after? We'll put up our schedule. We'll do a game on Friday and Saturday, North American time. We are it's pretty busy right now. It's the time of the year where, unfortunately, we're doing a lot of stuff. I can tell you a week from now, we're not going to be doing much anything, but that's just the way it goes. As that fastball is swung through and missed, and Olson is down on strikes. He's gone for the third out of the inning. And that is going to do it here for the Braves in inning number 1. Well, they draw themselves a walk, and they strand a runner. There was no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left the board. We are through a half inning. It is the Braves nothing. And the Phillies coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action. Appreciate you guys for popping in, and I'll give Dinger some recommendations when we return after this. It is 0-0 going to the bottom of inning number 1. We are moving ourselves to the bottom half of the first inning. It is 0-0. Phillies coming to bat for their half of the first. We'll be right back after this from our introduction from Steve Rademacher.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name. And I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Welcome back, everybody. Our friend Dinger, who is in the chat with us here today, asked us, he's going to be going up to see the Phillies and the Blue Jays in a couple of weeks' time, and says, well, what do you recommend in Toronto? Well, I used to spend a lot of time in Toronto as a youngster, as my dad had work that took him to the Big Smoke a lot of the times. And certainly getting a chance to go to Toronto was always a lot of fun. Their subway system is pretty good. Their streetcars are neat. And so I think it's a little early for the Canadian National Exhibition. I don't think that gets going on the CNE grounds, which will be a little later. That was where the old Exhibition Stadium used to be, where the Toronto Blue Jays began their baseball playing days, and the Argonauts played football. As the first pitch is delivered to Trey Turner, it is swung on and lifted into straightaway center field. Camping out underneath it is Michael Harris, the second, and he makes the catch. So with one pitch, there is one away here to begin the first inning. That is going to bring up the designated hitter in Kyle Schwarber. So as far as areas are concerned, or maybe restaurants that you want to go to, certain things that you might want to check out, it's always neat to take the ferry over to Toronto Island. They used to have an amusement park over there. They used to actually have people that had homes there. Most people don't live there anymore. You can rent a bike and ride it around the island for the day. As there's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. They had a little zoo over there, but they had all kinds of stuff to do. And I'm not sure, being at the end of May here, once you get into June, that usually picks up quite a bit. So it might be a good time to go. There's a fastball swung on. This is popped up into left field. Coming over underneath it is Alex Verdugo, and he's there to make the catch. And that is going to retire Schwarber for the second out of the innings. So 2 up and 2 away. It's going to leave it all up to the first baseman, Alec Boehm. Other things that you can do in the Toronto area is, if you're going to go see the ball club, as I say, if you're going to go see the Phillies series, Yonge Street is always used to be pretty popular. That runs from the water front. You can go up and down there. There's a lot of restaurants, especially, even closer to the stadium, as there's a fastball taken for a called strike. 0-1 to Boehm. If you go into the neighborhood of Roncesvalles, that's a Polish community. They've got a lot of different flavors in that area. Getting on the Bloor Street line, there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-1. That also is pretty good too. So hopefully you get a chance to be able to explore. So 1 ball and 1 strike as the lefty kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball that comes inside and backs Boehm off the plate, and the count goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. One of the best zoos I think you could ever get to is the Toronto Zoo. Really, really good. It was cutting edge at the time, 30 years ago or 40 years ago. The Science Center used to be big, but I understand they've closed that down. It's an unfortunate part there, as there's a fastball at the knees taken for a called strike, and the count's now 2-2 to Boehm. Boehm hitting .272 on the year, 4 homers and 20 RBIs. But let me think about it for a couple days, Dinger. And if you pop back in, hit me up again, and I'll give you some more detailed stuff. As the pitch is on the way, there's a breaking ball swung on it. Is hit over to third. Riley knocks it down, chests it up, keeps it in front, but unable to make the play. That ball was scorched off the bat of the first baseman of the Phillies. And that is going to be ruled as an infield single, I would think. We're going to look at that one again. Yeah, that was an absolute one-hop shot. Great job by Riley to get his body in front of it to try to keep it in front. It ended up trickling over to the foul line side. And so that is where that stands right now. So we've got a runner at first base with 2 gone, and it's going to bring Nick Castellanos to the plate. So Chris Sale working himself into the set, kicks and delivers. And the first pitch is a fastball that just misses inside. And the count is quickly 1-0 to Castellanos. Dinger says he hopes to see Wheeler pitch. He's the second best pitcher in the league. I might say he could be a Cy Young candidate in the National League right now. And there's a fastball that also misses inside, and the count's now 2-0 to Castellanos. Castellanos hitting .289 with 4 homers and 29 runs batted in. As the lefty Sale ready to go back to work again as he works himself to the set position, kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count now goes to 3-0. So it's a pretty quick first couple outs, only 3 pitches to retire the first 2 batters. And then with Alec Boehm hitting that bullet to Austin Riley, now he's almost going to lose Nick Castellanos here as the 3-0 pitch is on the way. It's a center cut fastball taken for a called strike. And the count goes to 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Chris Sale not having the year that he had last year, but he has been starting to get it going lately. He is slowly bringing his earned run average down. Fastball swung on and fouled straight back at 95, and the count is 3-2 to Castellanos. Castellanos was right on that pitch. So 3 balls and 2 strikes it remains. Had some folks that were in our stream earlier asking if we were going to be doing, or I should say in the last stream, asking if we're doing other games other than the Tigers and the Giants. And of course, this is one of them here as the pitch is on the way. It is a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. Like it may have caught Castellanos on the backside there, but it remains at 3-2. No Bryce Harper in the lineup for this one, as we thought maybe we would be seeing Harp at some point here. But he was not in the lineup earlier today as well. So back-to-back games without Harper in the lineup. Boehm getting the start at first. As the pitch is on the way, there's a fastball swung on. It is lifted down the right field line. It's going to slice foul into the seats. And the count remains full to Castellanos. It's a light schedule for Major League Baseball today. There were only 4 games originally on the slate. And of course, this one here, or I say maybe the early one being added in. There's a fastball ticket for a called third strike. Oh, Castellanos stood there like the house by the side of the road. He watched it go by for out number 3. And that's going to do it here for the Phillies in their half of the first. There was no runs, there was a hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We're now through 1 complete. Your score is the Braves nothing and the Phillies nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit with all the action. Appreciate you guys for checking in on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this little timeout.
Oh, hello. Oh, hey. Yep. I'm just sitting here listening to Freddie call another game here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, going really good. He's calling a great game, really exciting, lots of stuff going on. You're lucky it's commercial break right now. I got a second. Oh, yeah, of course, I'm having a cold one. Oh, yeah, I got plenty of videos coming up this week. You should stop in, check them out, leave a like, tell other people. But, Freddie's coming back. I got to go catch the game. I will check in with you later. You have a good night, buddy. Bye.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves to the top half of inning number 2. It'll be Austin Riley, Ozzie Albies, and Alec Verdugo to come to bat here to face Zach Wheeler in inning number 2. For Zach Wheeler in the first inning, it was 15 pitches, 9 of which were for strikes, as he will be ready to begin inning number 2 here. Both of these starting pitchers tonight, we would expect that it will be a tough ball game going through into inning number 6 or maybe even inning number 7. Umpires for tonight's game, it's Mark Wegner behind home plate. Shane Livensparger is at first, Nate Tomlinson at second, and Brock Ballou is the third base umpire. It's beautiful 71 degrees at first pitch. A little bit cloudy in Philly. There was a first pitch fastball taken for a called strike. Count is quickly 0-1 to Austin Riley. Wind is blowing from left to right about 9 miles an hour. Riley hitting .275 on the season, 8 homers and 28 runs batted in, as there's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. That is going to run the count now to no balls and 2 strikes to the Braves' third baseman. Riley batting from the right side here against the right-handed throwing Wheeler, who rocks into the windup and delivers. And there's a breaking ball swung on his tap foul over on the first base side of home plate, and the count remains at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes it is. Beautiful day for baseball. Not too hot, not too cool. As we said, with the cloudy skies, takes the sun off of the players as we are getting a little bit later into the evening. As that fastball misses outside, the count goes to 1-2 on Riley. Other games across the slate in Major League Baseball today, as that fastball is swung through and fouled away. Count remains at 1-2. Athletics are playing the Blue Jays. That game's going to get going here shortly. In about an hour, just over an hour's time, it'll be the Rays and the Astros. A little bit later on will be the Nationals and the Mariners, as those will be the games in this one here. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count goes to 2-2 on Riley. As we mentioned, this is the back end of a doubleheader here today, as this ball game here was the makeup of yesterday, or at least the earlier game was the makeup of yesterday's rainout. 5-4, the Phillies were victorious in that one. There's a fastball swung on it, is lifted down the first base side, drifting over his Bohm, and he's going to watch it bounce into the seats, and that's going to keep the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. As Riley ready to set himself back in, as the right-hander Wheeler rocks himself into the motion and kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses down. It's going to be 3-2 to Riley. Waiting his turn on deck is Ozzie Albies, as the switch hitter will be followed by Verdugo here in the inning. And the pitch on the way is a fastball swung on. It breaks the bat of Riley. It's grounded softly over to short. Fielding on the run is Turner, and he throws to first, and Riley's going to be retired. It's going to be a ground out 6-3. He's gone for the first out of the inning. And that is going to bring up the second baseman in Ozzie Albies. And for Albies, well, he's hitting .241 on the year with 5 homers and 19 runs driven in. As the right-hander ready to go back to work, he rocks himself slowly into the windup and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0 to Albies. Albies has a very interesting setup. He is very, very open. Literally, his right foot is almost outside the batter's box. There's a fastball at 99 that is swung through and missed, and the count is even at 1-1. Zach Wheeler has really been dialing it up at times here today. Again, the right-hander getting his signs, rocking into the windup and delivers. There's a fastball that is swung on and missed at 97, and the count is now 1-2. And to, some ways to kind of think about Zach Wheeler, imagine what he would have done had he have been healthy his entire career. There's a fastball swung on it, has popped up over on the right side. It's playable. It's in foul territory. Alec Boehm underneath it, and he makes the catch. And that is going to retire Albies for the second out of the inning, and that'll bring up the left fielder and Alex Verdugo. Our friend Dinger says, have any NPB teams impressed you so far this year? Yeah, we've called games sporadically, and I haven't seen probably everybody, but I have to say the Fighters have been impressive. I think they're about a year ahead of my curve. I didn't think they would make the playoffs last year, and they did. I thought this would be their year. I thought that probably next year would be the year they would challenge for the league title in the Pacific League. So that fastball misses outside. It's 1-0 to Verdugo. Verdugo hitting .268, no homers and 10 RBIs. He was brought up to replace Jared Kelnick, who was optioned to the minor leagues. There's a fastball swung on. It is grounded over on the first base side, backhanded by Boehm, but the first base umpire, Shane Livensparger, has ruled it a foul ball. And that is going to even the count at 1-1. Yeah, so the Fighters, I would say, their pitching and their defense has improved quite a bit. Dinger says a much better chance this year with SoftBank neutralized. Yeah, also, too, I saw last week that Carter Stewart Jr. is back in Japan, but his season is pretty much over. He won't pitch this year. They really haven't disclosed what the injury was. I know that he had gone back to the United States, and then he was back to Japan, and they're saying that his season is done. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball swung on. It is popped up into shallow left field. Coming in on it, and there to make the catch is the left fielder, Wes Wilson, and that is going to do it. And that will be it for the Braves here in the top of inning number 2. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We are now through 1.5. Your score is the Braves, 0, and the Phillies, 0. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in a couple minutes. I'll continue to answer Dinger's questions, and hopefully you guys will join us for more as well. Hang out, everybody. We'll be right back in just a bit.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be JT Realmuto, Edmundo Sosa, and Wes Wilson to come to bat here for the Phillies in bottom half of inning number 2. Our friend Dinger, who is in the chat, has asked us a few questions, and he said about if we had any NPB teams that have impressed us this year, and so that would be the first. The second was the bounce-back start that the Buffaloes had. They got out of the gate pretty quick. They've cooled off as of late, but they were playing good ball and looked like they were returning back to the form when they were 3-time champions in the Pacific League. They have played some pretty decent ball. They, really to overcome the loss of Masataka Yoshida and Yoshinobu Yamamoto in back-to-back years, 2 players that were both the linchpins of the offense and, of course, the pitching side. It makes it very difficult in which to overcome. But it looks like with the additions that they've made in the offseason and some of their younger players that have been improving, they will be a force to be reckoned with this year as well. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike by Realmuto, and the count is quickly 0-1. As far as I'm concerned, another thing that we were thinking about, certainly in that NPB, is also you're looking at the fall of the Marines. I thought the Marines would fall off. I didn't think they would fall off this much. So that fastball misses inside to count as 1-1. And the Lions are also playing some surprisingly good baseball, but I honestly don't believe that they're going to make the playoffs at the end of the season, as that breaking ball misses outside. Their pitching is pretty good, but their offense still need a couple of more bats. And I'm not really sure, outside of their rookie Watanabe, who is in left field, how much more upside they have in their system on the offensive side of things. So I don't know where there'll be more help on the way. There's the breaking ball swung on it, is popped into shallow left center field. Coming in on it is Verdugo, also the center fielder, Harris, but the ball is going to drop in, and Realmuto is going to get himself a leadoff single here. So he is aboard, and that is going to bring up the third baseman, Edmundo Sosa. Well, for Sosa, he's getting the nod at third base today as he's hitting .329, a homer and 12 RBIs. Also got the start in the first game today as well, as Realmuto establishes his lead over there at first. And the pitch is on the way. It's a breaking ball swung on and missed, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Sosa waggling the bat. He's played in 27 games up to this point. As the lefty Sale kicks and fires, there's a breaking ball swung on and fouled right into the feet of Sosa, and the count goes even to 1-1. So that would be my thought, Stinger, on the Pacific League. As far as the Central League is concerned, I didn't think that the Carp would be where they are. Probably fair to see where both the Swallows and the Dragons have started. Both of those two teams, probably non-playoff teams. Be a 4-horse race, although I just don't know what the Carp are doing at this point. Breaking ball misses down. And they appeal over to the third base umpire, and they say that is it for Sosa. He's down on strikes. I had it at 1 ball and 1 strike. But apparently maybe it was the late hand of the home plate umpire there that ended up registering it there, as he is tagged out for the first out of the inning. So 1 gone. It'll bring up the left fielder in Wes Wilson. But as far as the other 3 teams, maybe the Giants, the Tigers, and the Bay Stars, all of those 3 pretty much are what we expected, most likely competing for those playoff spots. As that fly ball is lifted into straightaway center field, camping out underneath it is Harris, and he's there to make the catch. And Wilson is gone for out number 2. So after the leadoff single by Realmuto to start the inning, 2 fairly quick outs here, and it's going to leave it up to the second baseman, Bryson Stott. And for Stott, well, he's hitting .263 in the early going, 4 homers and 24 runs batted in. This is his 50th ball game of the year, as he takes a center cut fastball for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Stott. Braves and Phillies. From Philadelphia here, bottom of inning number 2. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count goes to 1-1 on Stott. As we mentioned, both of these starting pitchers, we would expect that they are going to be dealing through most of their time on the mound here tonight. Zach Wheeler, 31 pitches through his first 2 innings. Chris Sale has been so far a little bit more economical. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now 1-2 on Stott. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Stott batting from the left side here against the left-handed throwing Sale, as he taps back in and ready to receive the offering from the left-hander. As again, he works to the belt, and now he kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball that misses way outside, and the count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sale to this point here has 2/3 of his pitches have been for strikes. It's pretty much what we would expect. Zach Wheeler just a little below that mark from both of these pitchers. As Sale delivered a snap throw over to first, and getting back quickly was Realmuto. As the lefty holds to the set position, here comes the pitch. And it's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count now goes to 3-2 on Stott. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Johan Rojas waiting his turn on deck. So here comes the 3-2 pitch. Runner is going to be on the move as he kicks and fires. There goes the runner, and it's a fastball that misses up and away. That's going to be ball 4. It's going to be the first free pass issued tonight here by Chris Sale. Realmuto makes his way down to second, and that's going to bring up the center fielder in Johan Rojas. Well, for Rojas, sitting 250 on the season, homer and 12 RBIs. He gets the start in center field here for this one. And the first pitch on the way from Sale is a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into left field. Camping out underneath it is Verdugo, and he's going to be there to make the catch, and that is going to do it, as that will retire the Phillies here in their half of inning number 2. Well, Philadelphia, they get a couple of runners aboard, but aren't able to cash. There was no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left aboard. Your score as we move to the top of the 3rd inning, it is right exactly where we started. It's Braves nothing and Phillies nothing. We'll be back in just a couple of months, right back on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back after this.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OP-Chi baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Thank you there, Steve, and good to have you as part of our channel as always. It is Steve Rademacher, friend of the channel. Go check him out after the ball game. We'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action right after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves to the top half of inning number 3. It'll be Michael Harris II, Nick Allen, and Ronald Acuna Jr. to come to bat to face Zach Wheeler here in the 3rd inning, as the right-hander delivers a first pitch breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count is 1-0. Braves got themselves off to a sluggish start to begin the 2025 campaign, but they have seemingly righted the ship as that fastball is swung on and fouled away, and the count now goes to 1-1 on Michael Harris II. When you take a look at the National League East standings, Phillies are top of the heap. They are at 36-19. As that breaking ball misses down and the count goes to 2-1. They are being followed by the Mets, who are 2.5 back at 34-22. Then the Braves are 10.5 back. They are 25-29, so playing much better after that abysmal start, although they have dropped 7 of their last 10. Fastball misses upstairs, and the count is 2-2. The Washington Nationals are 11 back in the East, followed by the Marlins at 13.5. One would have to think the Marlins are in serious trouble. They are the ones that are more than likely not going to be in the mix for anything. Washington probably a year or so away, as that fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 2-2 to Harris. I would say the Nats come next year with that offense that they're putting together. They really could use another arm Kenzie Gore has been as advertised this year, as there's a fastball swung on and lifted foul. The count remains at 2-2 to Michael Harris. But they are probably another 12 months or so away from being in the conversation, at least as a wild card conversation. I don't think they're going to be the next couple of years ready to win the division, as the 3-2 on the way. Fastball swung on, another one lifted foul, and this battle will continue. So 7 pitches already delivered to Michael Harris. Best team in baseball right now is the Detroit Tigers. They are 37-20. The best win percentage in the American League. As the 3-2 on the way. Breaking ball swung on and missed. Harris is in the books. He's gone for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up the shortstop and Nick Allen. We look at the Tigers. They are 37-20. 649 winning percentage in the American League. Next best winning percentage is the New York Yankees. They're quietly playing some good ball. They won 5 in a row, and they're 9 of their last 10. That's the pitch from Wheeler on the way is a fastball that backs Nick Allen off the plate, and the count is 1-0. Allen batting .245, no homers and 12 RBIs. On the National League side of the ledger, the Philadelphia Phillies, as that fastball is taken for a called strike. I'm not sure Nick Allen appreciated that. Sure didn't look like it. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Phillies have the best record in the National League and a .655 winning percentage to go with it. Fastball swung on and it's fouled away, but it seems to have hit Nick Allen in the hand, and he is in all kinds of pain. I don't know if they're going to rule that as a hit by pitch or a foul ball. It looked like he was swinging. We're going to get a look at the replay on that one. Pitch had come inside, got him right on the top of the hand. And he is in quite a bit of discomfort. It's going to be the right hand, which would be his throwing hand. Oh boy, that would be a major problem for the Atlanta Braves if something were to happen to Nick Allen. There's Brian Snitker, the manager, is out, and Ronald Acuna over to look at the player's hand as well. So we're going to take a look to see if he can continue here. Sometimes it all depends on where you get hit on the hand. Sometimes you get grazed and you're okay. And sometimes it is where you are, if you get cut on the top of it, that's where the bones can potentially break. But it looks like he is going to be all right. He's got a little extra protection on the bottom hand, which would be his left hand. A little extra padding on that Franklin batting glove. On the right hand, not so much. That is the one where he got hit. Maybe you might want to talk to Franklin about putting that little apparatus on both of the gloves. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Allen. We're ready to go again as Wheeler rocks himself into the windup and delivers. There's a fastball that's taken for a called third strike. Allen doesn't like the call. Got to tell you, there was some backdoor run on that pitch from Wheeler that caught the outside corner. Allen gone for the second out of the inning, and by our books, that's the 4th strikeout recorded tonight by Zach Wheeler. That'll bring up the top of the order in Ronald Acuna Jr. The only way I could describe that last at bat would be, in my opinion, would be overmatched. So here comes the first offering to Ronald Acuna Jr. It's a fastball at 97, missing upstairs, and the count is quickly 1-0. Wheeler has been pretty good tonight. He's only allowed 1 base runner so far in this one. Breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 1-1 on Acuna Jr. Waggling the bat, waiting here from the delivery from Wheeler, and the pitch on the way as a fastball swung on and tapped foul down the third baseline. The count is 1-2. Looking ahead for both of these teams, the Phillies will welcome the Milwaukee Brewers into town tomorrow. It'll be Quinn Priester on the hill for Milwaukee against Taijuan Walker for the Phillies. As the 1-2 is on the way, it's a split finger that misses inside, and the count goes to 2-2. And for the Braves, they head home. They're going to entertain the Boston Red Sox. As the pitch is a fastball swung on and missed, and that's going to do it. Wheeler strikes out the side here in the third inning as the Braves go in order. 5 strikeouts down the ball game for Wheeler. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We're now moving to the bottom half of inning number 3. Your score is the Braves nothing and the Phillies no score. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. We appreciate you guys for being with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be back after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are going to the bottom half of inning number 3. We'll be back after this musical timeout. It is 0-0 Phillies and Braves. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the top of the order coming to bat here for the Phillies in inning number 3. Turner, Schwarber, and Bohm to face the lefty Chris Sale. 31 pitches through the first 2 innings for the left-hander, 19 for strikes, as he will be ready to face the Philadelphia Phillies here in inning number 3. Our friend the hobbyist in the house tonight. We welcome Chris into the stream. He says, is it all right for him to say go Braves? Well, he might be going to the first bus back to the airport unless they can get something going here without a victory. There's a fastball that misses up and away as the Phillies are looking to complete the doubleheader sweep with the win earlier here today. So Javier says, go Braves. And there is a fastball swung on, and it's right off of the mask of the catcher, Drake Baldwin. And the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. I don't know if he actually tipped it or if that ball just was caught flush right on the mask. That was kind of strange. I was pretty sure he tipped it. But by the reaction of the catcher, I'm not so sure that maybe he felt the same thing. There was a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Count now goes to 1-2 on Turner. Turner's 0 for 1 today as he flew out to center field his first time up. So 1 ball and 2 strikes as the lefty Sale kicks and fires. Breaking ball misses down, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Waiting on the offering as Sale holds to the belt. As he kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball waved at and missed, and Turner is gone on strikes for the first out of the inning. That'll be the 3rd strikeout recorded by Sale. It'll bring up the DH and Kyle Schwarber. Friend the hobbyist asked the question, are you still doing the Twitch streams as well? We haven't done as much on that. I can set it up as a dual, and my problem with that is that some of the little jingles that we have in between innings, Twitch has been hitting us with copyright, I guess, infringements. As they're okay on YouTube, there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So when we use these ones on Twitch gives us a bit of a hard time. So Then they were telling us they weren't putting out our stuff as much, so we said we're not putting out of the Twitch. There's a breaking ball missing down and away, and the count goes even. Check that. They appealed down to the third base umpire, and they said that Schwarber ran around. It was a ball in the dirt, but now that runs the count to 0-2. So to answer your question, no, we're not doing the Twitch streams, or haven't done this year. So no balls and 2 strikes to Schwarber. There's a pitch pretty much in the same location that misses outside. That runs the count to 1-2. Hobby says he got a copyright on his mail day for Monday. Yeah, so that's been the thing. So with Twitch, Twitch has never been a prominent piece for us. There's a breaking ball that misses down. It's now 2-2. So we'll run there until they want to tell us to get lost permanently, I guess. And we'll do a few more a little later, a few more streams there. Doesn't really give us any added value for YouTube, as that fastball misses way outside. It's now 3-2 to Schwarber. But we haven't been doing as many Japanese games this year as we'd like to. We got to run, but we got a couple more coming up. Hobbyist says the skit he has been doing for years. I'll have to go and take a look at that. That's a breaking ball that's swung on and missed, and that's going to be 2 in the books. Yeah, it's interesting when you look at the different platforms that are out there and what acceptable levels are for using different things, whether it be Instagram or Twitch or Twitter or TikTok or YouTube. Depending upon what platform you're using, there is certainly a wild west of standards. Here comes the first offering now to the right-handed hitting Alec Boehm when he takes a breaking ball over for a called strike. Count is 0-1. 4 strikeouts now in the book here, recorded by Chris Sale. As the pitch on the way is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now goes to 0-2 on Boehm. So Boehm in the hole here at 0-2. He's got one of the 2 Philly hits here tonight in this one, as the pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. So we moved a lot of our other stuff over to our sister channel for the different types of card breaks. We were doing it on this channel here. We're going to keep this more for the lives and any other videos that we do. Some of the existing videos are still there. And there's a fastball ticket for a called third strike as Boehm stares at that one going right down the middle. He's gone for out number 3, and that's going to do it here for the Phillies and their half inning number 3. So just like in the top of the first inning when Zach Wheeler struck out the side, so too has Chris Sale in the bottom of the third inning. I guess whatever you can do, I can do better. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We are now moving to the top of inning number 4. Third of the game here is in the books, and we'll be back in just a few. We appreciate you guys for popping in on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. It is our sister channel, Last Raps Baseball Cards. That is the other one that we are putting our stuff out on. You can look at our shorts and all that other stuff over there. We'll be right back in just a few.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole. Yeah.
Never really know what's going on. Look at me sometimes like all you want to do is run. Hear me out,
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 2, 3, and 4 batters to come to bat here for the Braves to begin the middle frames. That means Drake Baldwin, Marcell Ozuna, and Matt Olson to face the right-hander Zach Wheeler. Wheeler, 48 pitches through his first 3 innings of work. As I would expect that he is probably going to go at least 6 innings here at this pace, if not maybe more. So Baldwin, who grounded out to third back in the first inning, steps in here to face the right-hander, begin inning number 4. And there's a 96-mile-an-hour fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Drake Baldwin. Right-hander Wheeler ready to go back again as he rocks himself into the windup, and he kicks and fires. It's a fastball that misses inside. The count now goes to 2-0. Wheeler has allowed only 1 base runner in this game. It was a walk to Marcell Ozuna back in the first inning. As the 2-0 pitch on the way, it's a fastball that swung on and lifted foul down the left field line. Count goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and a strike. Again, the right-hander rocking into the windup as he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that misses inside. The count now goes to 3-1 on Baldwin. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Again, the right-hander rocks and delivers, kicks and fires. There's a fastball swung on, is grounded up the middle. Fielded easily just behind the bag by the shortstop Turner. He throws to first, and Baldwin's in the books on the ground out, 6-3. He's gone for out number 1, and that'll bring up the designated hitter in Marcell Ozuna. Old school radio broadcast. That is what we like to do here on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We like calling the games, and we enjoy doing it old school way. And we are always looking for more people to join us. Like to listen to the game as well. As the first pitch is a fastball, take it for a call and strike. Count is quickly 0-1 to Ozuna. With a walk in the first inning, Ozuna still batting .278, 9 homers and 24 runs batted in. As the right-hander delivers, it's a fastball taken at the knees for a call and strike, and the count now goes to 0-2. I think Ozuna is probably saying to himself, if the pitcher is going to get those kind of calls all day, it's going to be a really tough day at the office to have to face him. As there is the 0-2 pitch that misses upstairs at 97, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Right-hander against the right-hander. Wheeler rocks and delivers. Fastball misses upstairs. The count now goes to 2-2. Ozuna is a very dangerous hitter, only hitting .278 as we said, but just his presence when he gets into the batter's box and his professionalism as a hitter, one of the best in the biz. As the 2-2 on the way, but now time has been called. Late stoppage there by the home plate umpire, Mark Wegner. But now that allows Ozuna to get himself reset. Wheeler ready to go back to work as he rocks into the windup and delivers. There's a fastball swung on it. Breaks the bat of Ozuna, but he's going to get enough of it to loop it over the head of the shortstop Turner into shallow left field. And that is going to be a 1-out single here for Ozuna. So that is the second time tonight he's reached base. It's the first hit recorded by the Atlanta Braves in this one. And that is going to bring up the first baseman in Matt Olson. Watching the calamity of the Braves and the Phillies bat boys as they are exchanging the bats. The Braves bat boy running off the field almost slipped as he was trying to hand it off to the Philly bat boy. And the first pitch is a breaking ball that drops in for a call and strike to Matt Olson. Olson was retired on strikes in the first inning. He went down on 3 pitches. Hobbyist says the pitchers treated Schmidt like Ozuna. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into right field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Racing over to get it is Castellanos. Rounding second and heading to third is Ozuna. That's going to be a double off the bat of Matt Olson. That's going to put 2 runners in scoring position. That's going to bring up the third baseman in Austin Riley. And just to comment on the hobbyists' thoughts about that, for those of you who don't know, that Mike Schmidt is arguably one of his favorite players of all time, if not the favorite player. I know he has an affection for Ozzie Smith and others. Of course, his favorite team is the Atlanta Braves, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, Dale Murphy would be one of your ones that you liked as well. As that fastball misses up and away, and the count is 1-0 to Riley. But certainly, Ozuna gets a lot of respect when he steps up to the plate, just like Mike Schmidt would have got in his playing days. There's a fastball that misses outside. It's now 2-0. Waiting his turn on deck is Ozzie Albies. One gone here in the fourth inning, and the Braves have got something brewing. 2-0 here at Riley, and runners are at second and third. Yeah, the pitch on the way. Fastball misses down and away, and the count goes to 3-0. So 3 balls and no strikes. So 3 balls and no strikes as the right-hander delivers. There's a fastball swung on, and it's grounded foul over on the third base side. The count goes to 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike it is. Riley waggling the bat. And here comes the offering from Wheeler. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball swung on. It is grounded down the third baseline. It's going to be fair. It's going to be extra bases. And that's going to get a couple of runs in. Digging it out of the corner is Wilson. Into score comes Ozuna and Olsen. And cruising into second is Austin Riley with a 1-out double. And that is going to give the Braves an early 2-0 lead. So back-to-back hits here off the bat of the Atlanta Braves have given them a 2-0 lead. Zach Wheeler has cruised along, or was cruising along, 3 1/3 no-hit innings. And then all of a sudden, the bats woke up. The broken bat single by Ozuna, the double into right field by Olsen, and now a double here by Austin Riley. Put them out in front. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right field. Moving back onto the warning track is Castellanos. He leaps, but he's not going to be able to get it, as this ball is going to be gone. It's a wall scraper and a 2-run shot off the bat of Ozzie Albies to give the Braves a 4-0 lead. So, boy, just like that, the wheels have come off the apple cart in a big hurry for the Phillies starter, as now the Braves have a commanding 4-0 lead here in inning number 4. And that is going to bring up the left fielder in Alex Verdugo. Yeah, definitely a wall scraper. The fella in the front row made the catch. As the first pitch on the way to Verdugo is a fastball that is swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1. Verdugo flew out to left his first time up. 0-for-1 in this one. As the right-hander delivers, there's a breaking ball that misses way outside. The count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, the right-hander kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count now goes to 1-2 on Verdugo. Also on the channel coming up, we are going to be doing a couple of more ball games here. We'll do one tomorrow as the fastball misses up and away. It'll be a day game, and it'll be the Reds and the Cubs. Then we're going to get into some Japanese action on Friday and Saturday night North American time, as there's a breaking ball swung on, is lifted into center field. Moving back, but with room in front of the warning track to make the catch, is Rojas, and that's going to retire Verdugo for the second out of the inning. So after 4 hits in a row, 3 extra base hits in a row, finally retires the second batter of the inning, and that'll bring up the center fielder in Michael Harris. So if you're up late night, be sure to pop in and check it out. So here comes the pitchers, our friend Gracie Lynn in the house. We were taking attendance, and we thought you'd be here at some point. As that ball is lifted into straightaway center, Rojas on the warning track. He leaps up and he makes the catch. Harris sent a long way right to the deepest part of the ballpark, but he was able to haul it in. Was the center fielder Rojas for the third out of the inning. And that is going to do it here as the Braves open up the scoring with 4 runs in the inning on the benefit of 4 hits. There was no errors and nobody left the board. Your score as we move to the bottom half of inning number 4, it is 4-0. We'll be back in just a couple moments. Hang tight, everybody. We will come back and answer your questions when we return after this. Welcome back, everyone. It is going to be the heart of the batting order to come to bat for the Phillies when we return. Castellanos, Realmuto, and Sosa will be right back in just a few with all the action. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the heart of the order to come to bat for the Phillies to face Chris Sale here in inning number 4. Castellanos, Realmuto, and Sosa. Our friend Grace Lynn said, we didn't know I was going to be live today. Yeah, you know what? I got to be honest with you. I just have to say the reason I didn't do it, obviously, the earlier game was a makeup. And then I saw the pitching matchup, and I said, that's probably pretty good. I was going to actually go down and see the Mariners play the Nationals tonight. Mackenzie Gore slated to pitch for the Nats, but then I saw that Emerson Hancock was going to go for the Mariners, and I just couldn't take it. I had no interest in going to see Hancock pitch. So I decided to just sit back and relax and enjoy the rain in the Pacific Northwest than to drive down in it. As the first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count's 1-1 to Castellanos. Gracie Lynn says that the commercial with the mouse there is when she's like click, 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 progressively getting more aggressive. There you go. As that fastball misses upstairs and the count is 1-1. So yeah, I was looking at doing that game. So I won't actually watch it really unless I go peek in on it. So there's a breaking ball that is swung on foul down the third base line. The count is 1-2 to Castellanos. So this was kind of a late addition. Plus the pitching matchup, when I saw it was going to be Sale and Wheeler, that got me excited. Of course, Wheeler was pitching really well until that one out in the 4th inning, and things went a little bit sideways. There's a breaking ball that is waved at and missed, and Chris Sale is going to retire Castellanos on strikes. That is going to be, by our books, the 6th strikeout of the ball game for Sale. That's 4 in a row now for the left-hander. I'll bring up the catcher and JT Realmuto. So, yeah, in some ways, this was a bit of a late addition to our schedule. We wasn't really planning on it. I'm going to try to do the game between the Reds and the Cubs tomorrow in the daytime. And then we're going to go back and do the stuff at night. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0 to Realmuto. So what we're going to do is the Japanese games tomorrow and on Saturday. Those ones will start at 10 o'clock. Pacific time, and there was a fastball that swung on and fouled away, and the count goes to 1-1 on Realmuto. Haven't decided quite our schedule on that either. We'll look at the pitching matchups probably tomorrow, more likely trying to stay with the series that we will call for back-to-back games, but I haven't quite decided that yet either. We are going to get into interleague play coming up, so we'll try to call some midweek stuff as well. There's a fastball that He's taken for a called strike. The count is 1-2. Related to that, it's a light slate of games in the NPB tonight. There's only 5 games. Usually that happens when they're coming off what I would say a interleague or a non-venue or different venue. There's a fastball missing up and away. It's now 2-2 to Realmuto. Realmuto is 1 for 1 today. He does single his first time up. So here's the pitch on the way. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into right field. And camping out underneath it, and there to make the catch is Ronald Acuna Jr., and that's going to retire Realmuto for the second out of the inning. So if I was speculating a little bit on who we would probably look at calling the Carp and the Tigers tomorrow night. It'd be an interesting game. They had a little bit of excitement in one of the earlier games of the year, as it was a Tiger player that was hit by a Carp pitcher, and they emptied the benches, actually, which is kind of rare these days in the Japanese league. You go back a number of years ago, it would happen a lot more frequently. There's a first pitch breaking ball that misses inside to Sosa. The count is 1-0. Sosa struck out his first time up, 0 for 1 tonight. But that is kind of our plan. And then the next night, it's a 9:30 Pacific or 12:30 a.m. Eastern time for the same 2 teams. So we'll probably try to stay with that Carp-Tiger series, as that fastball was swung on and fouled away, and the count is 1-1 to Sosa. And then it gets into interleague play beginning next Tuesday. Fastball misses inside, and the count goes to 2-1. And so, of course, we're pretty excited to see the interleague play. Not sure what we will do there. Probably look to call a couple dome stadiums. There is some rain in the forecast in Japan earlier in the week, or a lot of the country anyway. As the pitch on the way is the fastball swung on, is grounded over to the third base side. Fielding it on the run is Riley, fires to first, and Sosa's retired, and so are the Phillies here in their half of inning number 4. That is 7 in a row retired by Chris Sale. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We are now through 4 complete innings. It is the Braves 4 and the Phillies no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit. We appreciate you guys for popping in. We'll be right back. Our friend Gracie Lynn's got a lot to say, and we got a lot to catch up on in just a couple moments. We'll be right back in just a few.
Oh, hello. Oh, hey. Yep. I'm just sitting here listening to Freddie call another game here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, going really good. He's calling a great game. Really exciting. Lots of stuff going on. You're lucky it's commercial break right now. I got a second. Oh, yeah, of course I'm having a cold one. Oh, yeah, got plenty of videos coming up this week. You should stop in, check them out, leave a like, tell other people. But, Freddie's coming back. I got to go catch the game. I will check in with you later. You have a good night, buddy. Bye.
Welcome back, everybody. Our friend Gracie Lynn was stating that tomorrow she's going to start checking in on the NCAA. That would be the D1 regionals are going to be going on. And certainly there is quite a bit of baseball and the brackets that are right across the country. We don't do anything that's involved with that. We haven't called anything that way for the D1, but it is fairly interesting. I am curious myself to see how some of that baseball will end up going. And we'll have to see how that goes. We've got 16 regional host sites as it will begin. And when we take a look at the bracket ourselves, As the first pitch is delivered to Nick Allen, and it is taken for a called strike. Or check that. Is that still Nick Allen? It looks like we may have ourselves a pinch hitter here. It is a pinch hitter, as Allen's day is done when he got hit with the pitch on the hand. They have gone and they've made the change here. This is Williams at the plate, so that pitch misses outside for a ball. We'll have to get caught up on that. So Nick Allen was the starter tonight. He got hit in the hand with a pitch on a swing, and so he has been replaced in the lineup by Luke Williams as that breaking ball misses down and away, and the count goes to 2-1. So obviously the hand, it was the throwing hand of Nick Allen, so I bet you that he's going to be going for some X-rays, unfortunately for him. So Williams in here at the plate with his first at bat. He's 0 for 3 on the season, and there's a four-seam fastball taken for a called strike. The count's now 2-2. Just a couple of notes on Williams. Ironically, originally drafted by the Phillies, he's been with the Philadelphia organization, and then he has also spent time with San Francisco, Miami, with the Dodgers, and he's been with Atlanta over the parts of the last couple of seasons, appearing in his 10th game here tonight. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 3-2 on Williams. So 3 balls and 2 strikes it is, as the right-hander Wheeler kicks and fires. There's a fastball swung on it, is lifted into right center field. Moving over to his left end with room to make the catch is Rojas, and that's going to retire Williams for the first out of the inning. So 1 gone here in inning number 5. And that is going to bring up the top of the order in Ronald Acuna Jr. Our friend Gracie Lynn depositing a couple of super stickers. We appreciate you there, Gracie Lynn. And thank you kindly for that. She asked the question, she says, why does the NPB have a specific portion of the season for interleague and not just mix up the series? So that fastball misses up and the count is 1-0. Personally speaking, what I'd like to see is I'd like to see the NPB expand the interleague from 18 games to 36, because when you think about it, that means they play 125 games within their own league, which is fair. But I'd like to see it maybe go, instead of 3 games, be a home and home. So you play everybody 3 times at their yard. So it becomes 36 games interleague play and only 107 in your own league, as that fastball misses inside. 3 balls and no strikes to Acuna Jr. As the right-hander kicks and fires, there's a fastball that he tries to check his swing on but can't hold up. Count now goes to 3-1. So that answers the question with regards to the NPB for the interleague portion. As there is a fastball swung on, it is popped up foul. It's going to reach the seats. There's a kid in the area here who plays at Columbia University, which is a Ivy League school. And Columbia's got themselves in a tough draw. They're at Southern Miss, the hosts, which is in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. And there's also University of Alabama and Florida as well. As the pitch is on the way, breaking ball swung on and lifted foul into the seats over on the first base side. The count is 3-2. Usual suspects will be more than likely the candidates of who is going to go through. Vanderbilt is a 1 seed going into the tournament. They're in with Wright State, Louisville, and ETSU. As the pitch on the way is a fastball that is swung on and lifted foul, and the count remains full to Acuna Jr. University of Texas is the number 2 seed in the tournament, and they're hosting Houston Baptist, UTSA, and Kansas State. But we are not going to be looking in on any of that action. I'm sure we'd probably get quite the following if we decided to do that. There's a fastball that misses outside. That's going to be ball 4, so Acuna Jr. gets himself a 1-out walk, and that'll bring up the catcher in Drake Baldwin. But if I had to say who would be the sleepers in the tournament, when I look at all the brackets and you go through and you say, okay, who would I be picking and where would I see an upset? I certainly don't see North Dakota State going into Fayetteville, Arkansas, and doing any damage. They were a sub-500 team in their conference, but won their conference. And by doing that, the championship punched their ticket into the NCAA, as there's a breaking ball that misses down and the count's 1-0 to Baldwin. But if I had to pick somebody, I would say keep your eye on Wake Forest in that Knoxville bracket. Wake Forest has produced a number of big league draft picks over the last few years. Fastball misses inside and the count's 2-0. In the bracket, I would assume and I would think that Clemson would be favored to win out that bracket that they're hosting. LSU is the host in Baton Rouge. That is a tough place to play. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. Count is 2-1. They've got Rhode Island, Dallas Baptist, and Little Rock in that bracket. So 2 balls and 1 strike here to Baldwin as the right-hander Wheeler works to the set again. Here comes the pitch. It's on the way. There's a breaking ball waved out and missed. The count goes to 2-2. So sometimes you're wondering who that Stony Brook is going to be, who is going to be that team that's going to have the glass slipper that might be able to do it. If I had to pick somebody, I'm going to go with Cal Poly this year. Cal Poly, they're in with Arizona, Utah Valley, and Oregon. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed, and Baldwin is in the books. He's gone for the second out of the inning. He's going to leave it up to the DH and Marcelo Zuna. I'll go with Cal Poly if I had to make a pick. And I'll also say this, that it's not really that much, but I'd say that maybe East Carolina in that Conway bracket, as they got Coastal Carolina, Fairfield, Florida. Keep your eye out on East Carolina as well. Fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Ozuna. 2 gone here in the 5th inning. Runner Acuna is at first with Ozuna batting here. He's been on base twice tonight. As the right-hander ready to go, and he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball again swung on and again breaks the pad of Ozuna, but this time it's going to go right to the glove of the center fielder Rojas. And Ozuna has destroyed 2 bats tonight, or maybe Wheeler's destroyed 2 of Ozuna's bats. That's going to do it here for the 3rd out of the inning. Well, we're halfway through the ball game. It is 4-0 for the Braves. No runs, no hits, no errors, but 1 runner left aboard here. We'll be back in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys for hanging in. It'll be the bottom third of the batting order for the Phillies to come to bat when we return in just a bit. We'll be right back after this from our friend Matt.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom half of inning number 5. It'll be the bottom third of the batting order slated to come to bat here to face Chris Sale. That means Wes Wilson, Bryson Stott, and Johan Rojas. And by our count here, it is 6 strikeouts through 4 innings for the Braves left-hander, as he has been sparkling here tonight. So Wilson coming to bat, he's 0 for 1 tonight. He flew out to center field his first time up. As the lefty Sale rocks into the motion and delivers, there's a fastball that misses inside, and the count is quickly 1-0. So 1 ball, no strikes. Our friend Gracie Lynn says you would probably get a lot of people coming into your channel if you were calling the games. Yeah, my only beef to that, or my personal problem with it, is I really don't know the conferences or the leagues as well as I used to. Don't follow it as tightly as I once did. And so I feel like I'd be a distant party to what that is. As the pitch on the way from Sale is a breaking ball that misses way outside. The count goes to 2-0. You know some guys here and there, but you really have to do I really have to do my homework on being able to be prepared to call it. Whereas sometimes when you're doing the NPB or MLB, I don't have to always do all the homework, but I can be able to, just off of memory, be able to work it out. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 2-1. Or if there's something that resonates, certainly with certain players. Grace Lynn says that Oregon hasn't looked great the last couple of weeks. They're really starting to slip. Yeah, they're not peaking. And East Carolina at UAB, when UAB played them this year, as there's a fastball that is swung on and lifted foul down the right field line. Count goes to 2-2. Yeah, sometimes that's the case. I mean, obviously getting a chance to watch, and I haven't, the college baseball with the metal bats, I don't know why they're still playing with the metal. The JUCOs are using wood, as there's a breaking ball that misses down and the count goes to 3-2. The college summer leagues have pretty much, for all intents and purposes across the nation, gone to wood. I don't understand the use of metal bats at that level. Here comes the full count offering here as the pitch is on the way. It is a breaking ball swung on and grounded foul just past the bag at third. Counts 3-2 to Wilson. You start to wonder sometimes that, when the hitters go and they play in the wood bat summer leagues, is that a more true reflection of their hitting ability? I had a catcher one year who played at the University of Detroit. He hit 350, and then he came back in summer ball. He hit like 130 points lower than that. Now, I know it's different competition and different things, but you'd think that it would be a little bit different. There's a fastball that misses down and in. It's going to be ball 4 as Wilson is aboard with a leadoff walk. Gracie Lynn says her local amateur league uses wooden bats. It's a different game. With the wood bats, you really got to square up balls. You got to drop balls down. Brings back the small ball into the game. Makes it far more enjoyable in which to have to watch. As the pitch is on the way, there's a fastball taken for a called strike, at least from my perspective. So no balls and 1 strike. Also, too, if you're a young pitcher pitching in a 15-year-old and under division going up against some of those trampoline bats, that makes it really, really tough. I don't know if I'd want to pitch against that regular. There's a fastball swung on it, is lifted into left field. Moving over and over to his right is Verdugo. And he makes the catch, and that is going to retire Stott for the first out of the inning. So 1 gone here. It's going to bring up the center fielder, Johan Rojas. I think why NCAA Division I hasn't switched is probably the amount of money that the bat manufacturers are pouring in to sponsor baseball at the D1 level. That would be my guess. They've got money to put in at the NCAA Division I level. They're putting a pile of money in there. That's probably why they're not changing the bats. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1. But that's just my speculation at my end. So no balls and 1 strike to Rojas. Looking up statistics on a young kid who used to come to our program, who played at Northwestern University this year, started in all 52 games. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-1. Like he may have not had as good a season as he did his freshman year. He did hit 6 homers, drive in 40. And he batted .255 with a slugging percentage of .425. I think last year, I'm pretty sure he was in double digits in home runs as a freshman. Breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count goes to 1-2. Have to go back and take a quick peek. But he had an opportunity to play back-to-back years. He was a freshman All Big Ten player in 2024 as the pitch on the way Breaking ball swung on and hammered foul down the right field line. Count remains at 1-2. I have had a chance to get to a number of different college parks to see games, some games, but some of them being within my own, of course, when we were involved, but certainly the NCAA. I've been to Seattle and played against those guys. I've been to the University of Washington, caught some of their stuff. I played Arizona one year. Actually, going coast to coast, I was at Georgetown University one year and saw them play a midweek game. I believe it was an exhibition game against the University of Maryland as that pitch is swung on and fouled away. Count remains at 1-2 because I don't believe they were in the same conference at that time. As the pitch is delivered, it's a fastball swung on and fouled away. And the count remains at 1-2 to Rojas. So Rojas giving Sale a bit of a battle here. He's showing to be a bit of a thorn in his side. So 1-2 to Rojas as the lefty Sale holds to the set. The pitch on the way is a fastball swung on. His tap softly over to second. Albies feels that he has to hurry. He throws to first, and that is going to retire Rojas. That was the only play. Wes Wilson is going to be safe at second. It goes as ground out 4-3 for out number 2. That'll bring up the top of the order in Trey Turner. So Turner coming to bat. He's 0 for 2 in this one. He has flown to center and struck out in his 2 trips to the plate. As the lefty Sale kicks and delivers, and it's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-1 to Turner. So no balls in, 1 strike. As we mentioned, we'll put up the schedule tomorrow for our games a little later this evening. So if you're in the neighborhood and want to pop in, feel free, as the pitch is a breaking ball that misses down. The count now goes to 1-1 on Turner. Turner's averages slipped to the even 300 mark, but he still has those 5 homers and 24 RBIs. Waggling the bat here as the lefty Sale holds to the set. He checks the runner Wilson at second. Here's the 1-1. And it is a fastball that comes inside, and it looks like it has hit Turner in the back foot. That's going to send the runner back to second base. It looked like the runner Wilson was on the move. Turner gets drilled. Oh, that's going to hurt. As he's got the trainer out to see him, he's going to walk that one off. It's a tough way to reach base. It's runners at first and second. That'll be Kyle Schwarber coming to bat. Got him right on the top of the right foot. He's going to hobble that one off, make his way to the base. And that is going to bring up Kyle Schwarber, as we said, to the plate. So a lefty-lefty matchup here. Power versus power. Schwarber gets ready to face Chris Sale for the 3rd time. He has flown to left and he has struck out in his 2 appearances against him. So Schwarber tapping the bat. And the first pitch on the way from Sale is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes. So each team has taken turns hitting a batter. Nick Allen getting hit in the hand by Zach Wheeler, and now Trey Turner getting hit in the top of the foot by Chris Sale, as the pitch on the way is a fastball that misses outside, and the count goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. So the lefty again ready to get back at it as Sale holds himself to the set position. Pitch on the way, breaking ball misses down and away, and the count now goes to 3-0. Well, you got Alec Boehm waiting on deck. As he is licking his chops to come to bat here to face Chris Sale, one would have to think. You got a chance to bat with the bases loaded. Here comes the 3-0. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 3-1. Phillies and Braves, 4-0 Braves, all their runs coming in the top half of inning number 4, capped off by a 2-run homer by Ozzie Albies. There's a breaking ball down and away. That's going to be ball 4. Schwarber's going to be aboard with a walk. It's going to load the bases. Wes Wilson will advance to third. Trey Turner is going to go over to second. And that is going to bring Alec Bohm to the plate. It's going to bring the pitching coach out of the Atlanta dugout as he wants to come out and have a few words of wisdom with his pitcher, Chris Sale. So the pitching coach is Rick Kranitz as he makes his way to the mound. Interesting when you see how many different coaches that they have on major league rosters today. We go back a number of years ago, and it used to only be really about 5. You would have the manager, you'd have each of the base coaches who, of course, would be usually assigned a role. So one would be working with the infield, one would be working with the outfield, and you'd have a hitting coach and a pitching coach, and then that's pretty much about it. Then it slowly started to expand where you had a bench coach, and then you had a bullpen coach because it'd be like an assistant pitching coach. And now you got assistant hitting coaches, which is another couple more. There's a fastball swung on it. It's going to be lifted foul into the seats down the right field line, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. So Bohm batting from the right side here against the lefty Sale. As he kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on, and that is going to be lifted foul, and the count is 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Bohm. Bohm with the hit in the first inning, and he struck out looking in the third. He's got a chance to get the Phillies back in this with a base hit. As the 0-2 on the way. Here's the pitch. Slow breaking ball misses down and away, and the count goes to 1-2. Be interesting to see what Sale has up his sleeve here. That breaking ball slow down and away. I wonder if he comes back hard and in. We can only speculate here. Some fans are on their feet here in Philadelphia as the 3-2 is on the way. Another breaking ball swung on, and another one lifted foul down the right field line. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It remains here to Bohm. Friend Gracie Lynn said she didn't get the announcement. Sometimes it's funny. We get the announcements that we're going live, and then there's other times we don't. I don't know if that's maybe because we put the stream up too late. Ground ball swung on it. It's hit over to short. Williams fields it. His only play is going to be to first, and he's going to retire Bohm on a ground out 6-3. Well, the Phillies sent 6 batters to the plate in the inning, unable to cash a run. They had no runs in the inning, no hits. There was no errors, and 3 left aboard. We are now through 5 complete. Your score is the Braves 4 and the Phillies no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. It is Braves and Phillies in just a few.
Never really know what's going on. Look at me sometimes like all you want to do is run. Hear me out
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the heart of the batting order to come to bat here for the Braves in inning number 6. It'll be Olsen, Riley, and Albies. Both of the pitchers have ratcheted up their pitch count. Sale is at 89, Wheeler at 93. And I would expect if both of these are considered their aces, I would think that they are going to give them a run out here or another inning before we start to see the change. But in saying that, this is Major League Baseball 2025. You never know what you're going to get. They could be done here at 80 or 90 pitches. But it is going to be the right-hander, which will be coming back in. This is going to be Wheeler, begin his 6th inning of work. He'll get Olsen, who is 1 for 2. He's doubled in 2 trips. As the first pitch is delivered, it's a fastball at 96. Swung on and missed. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Grace Lynn says she doesn't really have any particular conferences. Just enjoy watching schools in other sports. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball that just misses up and in. Count goes to 1-1 on Olsen. Gracie Lynn says she'd support a 100-pitch minimum. Yeah, I don't know if I would necessarily support that. There's a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike. But, I could see the way that the game's evolving. You've got Rob Manfred as the commissioner, and I see what's probably going to happen is you're seeing more gambling and betting coming into the game. And you'll see it even on the broadcasts where they have the odds and the parlays and all this stuff. There's the breaking ball that is the down. Good stop there by the catcher, Realmuto. It's 2-2. And so when you have a starting pitcher, that's why in the NPB they have a pitching line for if you want to pick who's going to win the first 5, because you know who the starters are. Well, I would not bat an eye that you're going to see more openers in the future. There's a fastball swung on, is lifted into left field. Moving over underneath it is Wilson, and he's going to make the catch, and that is going to retire Matt Olson for out number 1. Bring up the third baseman and Austin Riley. But I guess where I'm going with it is if you have an opener, if the Yankees had an opener before you brought Garrett Cole in, or even if you went with 1 and 2 innings, it makes it really difficult. Because usually the starting pitcher is the one who can get into the rhythm and get you the 6 or 7 innings. But now you're bringing your starter in for inning number 3. Breaking ball misses down, and the count's 1-0 to Riley, especially after you use maybe an opener in a second one, and then it's 6 innings, and the next thing you know, it's going to be the 9th inning closer. So from a gambling perspective, I would think that the odds, or at least the randomness of the game, would pick up. Fastball misses inside. The count's now 2-0 to Riley. And so I guess from a betting perspective or from the gambling perspective, that's what the casinos would want. More randomness, harder to be able to figure it out. Fastball misses upstairs. Count goes to 3-0. There's action in the bullpen for the Phillies. So this is probably going to be, or potentially going to be, one of the last batters that would be faced here as that fastball misses upstairs. It's ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk issued here to Austin Riley, and he is aboard. It's going to bring the switch hitter Ozzie Albies to the plate. We'll keep our eye here on the Phillies brass here, if they're going to keep Wheeler in or not. And it looks like they're going to stay with him. The pitching coach, Caleb Cotham, has not poked his head out of the dugout, nor has Rob Thompson, the manager. So Wheeler ready to deliver again. There's a fastball missing inside for a ball. That's 1-0 to Albies. So 5 balls delivered in a row for the Philly right-hander. As the righty works himself into the set position, here comes the pitch. On its way, fastball swung on and lifted foul down the left field line, and the count goes to 1-1 on Albies. Gracie Lynn says the games can be pretty random now. Like, I don't gamble, but to pick a winner through 63 days, only had 7 perfect. There's a breaking ball missing down and away, and the count goes to 2-1. Yeah, it's pretty tough. I mean, if you ever go and pick up a day, like let's use tomorrow as an example, there'll be 15 games across Major League Baseball, a full slate. Trying to pick try to get 11 winners out of 15 is difficult. Trying to be perfect on 15 games is almost impossible. There's a breaking ball missing down. It's now 3-1 to Albies. It's very difficult to pick baseball. So 3 balls and 1 strike as the right-hander works himself into the set. Now the pitch is on the way. It's a fastball that misses down and in. It's going to be ball 4. Back-to-back walks issued here. And Rob Thompson is getting ready to come out of the dugout. And we have seen the end of Zach Wheeler here tonight, as he is going to leave the game here after 5 1/3 innings after delivering back-to-back walks to Riley and Albies. Slow walk out to the mound by Rob Thompson. And that is going to do it. We're going to have ourselves a pitching change here. We are in the top of the 6th. Braves are up 4-0 over the Phillies. Phillies are going to the pen. We'll get you that change when we return in just a couple of moments. Appreciate you guys for being here. Here's our friend Steve.
Hey, where are you going? It's a pitching change. Come on, sit back down. You don't go out there. Don't go get no food or anything. You've got a big decision. Are you going to throw in there Raleigh Fingers? Maybe Goose Gossage? How about maybe Mariano Rivera or Lee Smith, Dennis Eckersley? Who knows? It's a pitching change. Come on back. You know who I would pick for this? A nice, tall, cool one. There's my pitcher. That's my pitching change. That's a winning combination. Come see my channel. You know, every day is opening day. And according to Bob, I must be in the front row. Blah.
Welcome back, everybody. Our everyday Mets fan says, see a Wheeler, no retaliation for justice or for no justice for Harper. Yeah, maybe they filed that one back a little bit. Harper not in the lineup today or in the earlier game. So I guess we're just going to have to wait and see how that plays out. Not a good look for the Philly pitching staff. Well, everybody, it is a pitching change as the Phillies are going to their bullpen. It is going to be Carlos Hernandez who is making his way out, the 28-year-old right-hander. Has a no wins and no losses on the season. It's going to be his 21st appearance of the year. He's worked 19 2/3 innings, allowing 25 hits, 14 runs, all of which have been earned. And he has pitched himself to a earned run average of 6.41. He does have 17 strikeouts in the 19 2/3 innings of work, but he does have an alarming walk rate of 12. So let's see what happens here as he will take over in the top of the 6th inning here for Chris Sale. So the right-hander ready to go back to work. And the first pitch breaking ball misses down and in. The count is 1-0. And certainly if you are a Mets fan, as he says, the rest of the league knows it's open season on Phillies hitters. Yeah, definitely. You know, you got to say, I mean, who was it who took the pitch off the back foot was Trey Turner, as that fastball is taken for a called strike. Trey Turner took that one off from Chris Sale earlier in the ball game. And you definitely have to look at the Phillies right now. They've got no protection. And certainly if your ace is on the mound, you got to deliver a message. There's a fastball that swung on and fouled away, and the count is 1-2. New York Mets hanging around. We talked about this a little earlier as they are in second place. The Braves are in a little bit of a funk right now, but trying to get themselves back on track with a victory here this evening in the nightcap. There's a fastball swung on. It is popped up for Dugo. Upset with himself. It's an infield fly rule. In effect, the ball has been caught by the third baseman Sosa. And he is going to be gone for the second out of the inning. And that's going to leave it up to the center fielder and Michael Harris. The thing I have to say is the Phillies right now, they're definitely a targeted club on a number of pieces. Interesting there, Verdugo has upset. He slammed the bat down and ended up into the shins of Realmuto. He turned around to acknowledge him that it wasn't on purpose, just out of his own frustration. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. Count is 0-1 to Michael Harris. Everyday Mets says the Mets are not hitting. I don't know how much the Mets aren't hitting as much as they're not getting the production yet out of Juan Soto. I would think that will be rectify itself eventually. There's a fastball that misses up and away. I don't want to say not getting any production from him, but getting the production that they would have expected from him over the last couple of years. But with that being said, certainly an early beneficiary would be the polar bear and Pete Alonso as that fastball misses down and the count is 2-1. I think Alonso's numbers earlier on were much better than probably advertised, certainly with having Soto in the lineup. But if Soto gets on a tear, he could carry the Mets to quite a few victories, even get into the playoffs. He could carry to a couple of playoff series wins. As that pitch catches the outside corner to Michael Harris, and the count is now 2-2. Our friend Everyday Mets says that the Citi Field's a tough place to hit in April and May, and you're probably right. There's a ball swung on it, is chopped up over the head of the pitcher Hernandez, charging hard as the shortstop Turner. He's just going to feel that he's not going to be able to make the play as Harris's speed down the line is going to allow him to reach safely. That's going to load the bases as Riley will advance to third. Albies is over at second. That's going to bring up Luke Williams to the plate. It's one place I haven't been to is, well, I haven't been to either of the stadiums in New York. I've been to Yankee Stadium outside when it was the new Yankee Stadium, or the current version of Yankee Stadium was being built. As the pitch is on the way, there's a breaking ball. It's taken for a called strike. The count's 0-1 to Williams. Williams came in to replace Nick Allen, who was hit with a pitch back in the third inning. Actually, he was hit on the swing. Got him on the top hand and the throwing hand, as there's a fastball swung on. It is lined over the glove of the first baseman, Bohm, down the right field line. That's going to get a pair of runs in. 1 run in to score, 2 runs in to score, and the Braves have now taken a 6-0 lead with the first hit of the year for Luke Williams. So Williams drives in a pair of runs. Both of those runs will be charged to the starter, Zach Wheeler. So Riley and Albies come across the plate to score. And Luke Williams getting himself a couple RBIs. Our friend Gracie Lynn is listening to us. And she's watching Peruvian soccer. It's quite the mix. Here comes the pitch. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into straightaway center field. Ronald Acuna got just a little bit underneath it, as camping out underneath it is the center fielder Rojas. He's going to make the catch. But more damage done here by the Braves in their half of inning number 6. They had 2 runs in the inning on the benefit of 2 hits. There was no errors, and there was 2 runners left aboard. Your score as we move to the bottom half of inning number 6, it is the Braves 6 and the Phillies no score. Hang with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. Our friend Everyday Mets, if he's still with us, we thank you for popping in. If you're not, well, hopefully you come back again when we're doing one of the Mets games. But we'll be right back in just a bit. The Braves are in the lead, 6-0 as we move to the bottom half of inning number 6. We'll be back in just a couple of moments with all the action. Appreciate all of you for popping in here tonight, whether you listen live or on delay. It is the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the middle third of the batting order to come to bat for the Phillies here. Castellanos, Realmuto, and Sosa. So to answer the question of everyday Mets, think that you're the manager and you're down 6-0, would you retaliate now? In that last half inning, you also have to pick and choose who you're going to want to drill and when you're going to want to drill them. And to me, it would be the leadoff hitter Acuna, but not in that situation. So in other words, they had runners at second and third with 2 out. Yeah, you did have the open base, but I don't think I want to drill Acuna at that particular time. Maybe to lead off the ball game the next time you play them, or maybe be something along those ones. As there's a fastball that swung on and lifted foul, and the count is 0-1 to Castellanos. So that would be the piece there that you'd want to. First of all, I'd be looking at who their best player is, and with the Braves, to me, it's still Acuna. And then I start looking at some of the others, whether it be Austin Riley or possibly Matt Olson or even Ozuna, before you have to start picking one of those guys to drill, as that fastball is swung on and fouled away. The count is 0-2. So the appropriate time would be the case. So here we are at 6-0. You got one more time through the batting order at minimum each. So now you get to circle who you're going to take out at which point in time. So if I am the Braves, I might not want to take that risk to let maybe Acuna get an at bat here late in the game, because he could be the one with the circle around his name. So it is a ball and 2 strikes. And there is a breaking ball swung on. It is lined right to the glove of the third baseman, Riley. Castellanos hit it on the screws, but that is going to bury Austin Riley, or that's going to the screws to Austin Riley. It's going to bury Castellanos for the first out of the inning. Bring up the catcher and JT Realmuto. Everyday Met says Albies would be a good one to drill. Yeah, I also take a look at, too, on how some of the players are playing. I mean, who's the more impactful bat? Is it Matt Olson? Is it Ozuna? Or is it Riley? Or is it Albies? And I certainly would probably put Albies last in that category. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. Count is 0-1. Our friend Gracie Lynn still pounding the drum for the soccer, as there's a breaking ball that catches the inside corner, and the count goes to 0-2. Realmuto 1 for 2 tonight, has a single in 2 trips. As the lefty Sale delivers, there's a breaking ball that misses down and in. The count goes to 1-2. I would have to think that this will probably be Sale's last inning, as he is currently up to 96 pitches. Just speculating they'll have to bring it home with their bullpen here in this one, as the 1-2 is on the way. Pitch delivered, fastball taken for a called third strike. Realmuto just watched that one go by. He's gone for excessive window shopping. He's in the books for the second out of the inning. That's going to bring up Edmundo Sosa to the plate. Well, for Sosa tonight, he is 0 for 2. He has struck out and grounded out against Sale. And just looking at Chris Sale, with that strikeout of Realmuto, that is number 7 in the books for the Braves left-hander. There's a fastball swung on. It is lifted foul down the right field line, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. And here's another thing, too, just when you're thinking about some of this stuff. Are you going to burn a guy like Sale to do it? Now, at this point, I'm not sure what they're looking at in terms of relievers, but maybe you got a reliever who will come in and not worry about who he has to hit. There's a fastball swung on and missed. Count goes to 0-2. It is Joe Ross up and throwing in the Philly bullpen. So more than likely, it'll be the end of the night of Carlos Hernandez, as the left-hander Sale ready to deliver again. Kicks and fires. There's a fastball that misses way upstairs, and the count goes to 1-2. So after this half inning, one would think the pitching parade will be in full force, as Sale kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball swung on, and it's knife foul down the right field line. Count remains at 1-2 to Sosa. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, Sale now at 101 pitches. Kicks himself and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. Sosa's down on strikes for the second time today. He is out number 3 here in the 6th inning, and that is going to do it for the Phillies. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We're now through 6 complete. 2/3 of the game is in the books. Your score is the Braves 6th and the Phillies no score. We'll be back in just a few. We appreciate you guys for hanging around with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. It is Phillies and Braves when we return after this.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves to the top half of inning number 7. And we've got a scoreline of 6-0 for the Braves. Chris Sale has worked 6 innings, only allowing a couple of hits. The big blasts for the Braves, the 2-run double off the bat of Austin Riley and a 2-run shot off the bat of Ozzie Albies that have contributed to 4 of the 6 runs. Zach Wheeler was pitching pretty good for the Phillies, and then all of a sudden, with 1 out in the 4th inning, the wheels kind of fell off the apple cart where he gave up 4 consecutive hits, including 3 extra base hits back to back to back. But I would have to say that looks like it is probably the end of the night for the starter Chris Sale. Joe Ross now on in relief as he will take over here for the Phillies. Ross, the right-hander, ready to face Drake Baldwin, who takes a fastball inside for ball 1. The count is 1-0. The 32-year-old Ross was originally a first-round pick of the San Diego Padres. He spent quite a few seasons with the Washington Nationals. Then he was with the Brew Crew last year, and now here he finds himself with Philadelphia. So there's a fastball swung on and fouled away. Count is 1-1 to Baldwin. He's got a 2-1 record on the year, 25 1/3 innings, 27 hits, and he has allowed 13 runs, 12 of which have been earned, walking only 6 and striking out 19. So the one-time top pick of the Padres delivers a breaking ball that swung on and fouled away, and the count is 1-2 to Baldwin. He's had 141 games in his big league career, made 86 starts, but none of them have come this year as he has 18 games under his belt, appearing in his 19th is Ross. As the 1-2 pitch coming to Baldwin here, it's a fastball that just misses inside. The count's 2-2. And in ways, you could kind of see why the Padres would have made this right-hander the top pick, or their top pick in the draft back in 2011. He stands 6'4", 243. At least that's what they list him at. He might look a little bigger than that. There's a fastball that misses down. The count runs full. But being able to stay healthy has probably been the key, or at least the lack of key, to the success of Joe Ross. And now time has been called by Baldwin as he steps out of the batter's box. He's going to give it a couple moments to reset himself. He's charged with that offensive timeout. So the right-hander working himself to the set position. Here comes the pitch. Fastball that misses down. It's going to be ball 4, and Baldwin's going to get himself aboard with a leadoff walk. Friend Gracie Lynn says she has too much time on her hands for all of her ungodly sports consumption. I don't know if it's consumption or an addiction. Either way, we'll have to figure that one out. But there's worse things you could be doing, that's for sure. So as long as you enjoy baseball and all the other sports, that's what makes the world go round. I had my buddy's mom when we were growing up. She was a huge football fan. She loved it. And every Sunday, she wouldn't do a whole lot, but sit around, watch football. It was classic stuff. And here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away right off of JT Realmuto, and the count is 0-1. Ozuna's reached base a couple times tonight. He walked in the first and singled in the fourth. He's also flown out to center field, so officially 1 for 2 for Ozuna. As the right-hander works himself into the set position. Pitch on the way, breaking ball swung on and missed. Count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. As the right-hander works himself to the set position yet again. Here's the pitch. Fastball taken for a called third strike. Oh, pitch had a lot of backdoor movement there from Ross to Ozuna. Ozuna doesn't like it. He's going to walk slowly off. I think once he gets a chance to look at it on the replay, he'll see that pitch was pretty impressive from the right-hander. And Ozuna is going to be gone on strikes for the first out of the inning. It'll bring up Matt Olson to the plate. Yeah, sometimes when you see hitters, the way they react, they can't believe that would be a called third strike or a strike period. That one there, maybe once he gets back into the underneath facilities, goes and takes a look, he'll see exactly what that was. Pretty good pitch by Joe Ross. That brings us Matt Olson to the plate. Olson is 0 for 1 in this one. As the right-hander works himself into the set position. And the pitch on the way is a fastball swung on, is lifted into deep center field. Moving back onto the warning track and making the catch is the center fielder Rojas, and having to retreat all the way back to first base is the runner Baldwin. That's going to put 2 in the books, and it's going to leave it up to the third baseman Austin Riley. Well, for Riley, he's 1 for 2 today. He's got a double and a couple RBIs. He's also walked and scored a run. So he's been on base twice. Riley batting from the right side here against the right-hander Ross. As the pitch on the way is a fastball that catches the outside corner for a called strike. Count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. More action going on in the Atlanta bullpen, as they do have a right-hander up and throwing, as the pitch on the way is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Right-hander against the right-hander. Ross working to the set. Riley waits. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball that just misses outside. Count goes to 1-2. Same pitcher that he threw Marcell Ozuna, but he didn't have much backdoor run on that one. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. As the right-hander Ross kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count goes even to 2-2. So Riley battling himself back here. Pretty good crowd tonight for the back end of this doubleheader. As the right-hander Ross works himself to the set, here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on and fouled away. Count remains at 2-2. The first game of the doubleheader, in terms of the attendance, at Citizens Ballpark, they had 32,314. Pretty good for a weekday game that was made up. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep left center field. This ball is going to be trouble, and this ball is going to be gone. A 2-run homer off the bat of Austin Riley, and he's added another pair of runs to the Braves' already healthy lead. That is going to increase the scoreline to 8-0. Drake Baldwin scores in front of him, and then Riley with the exclamation point with a run at number 8. That'll bring up the second baseman in Ozzie Albies. That ball got out in a hurry. It wasn't the wall scraper that Ozzie Albies hit back in inning number 4. This one had some meat on the bones. Good solid 10-15 rows into the stands. And there's the aforementioned Ozzie Albies, and the first pitch to him is a breaking ball that misses down and in. The count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Braves now up 8-0 over the Phillies here in the top of the 7th inning. As the pitch is a fastball swung on and grounded foul past the bag at third base, and the count now goes to 1-1. So much for the tantalizing pitchers duel that we were expecting with Zach Wheeler and Chris Sale on the mound. Looks like it is only a one-sided affair at this point. So the right-hander, again, ready to work as he holds to the set. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses upstairs. The count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Ozzie Albies. Right-hander Ross working to the set. Pitch now on the way. Breaking ball swung on. This ball is popped up behind second in shallow center field. Moving back on it is Turner. He's there to make the catch, and that is going to do it, as Albies is going to be retired for the third out of the inning, but not till damage has been done. 2 runs in the inning on the 2-run homer off the bat of Austin Riley. There was 1 hit. There was no errors, and nobody left the board. Your scores, we move to the bottom half of inning number 7. It is the Braves 8 and the Phillies no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit with all the action, and appreciate all of you for hanging in here with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We've got ourselves the Braves and the Phillies, 8-0 for the Braves as we move to the bottom half of inning number 7. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back in just a bit with all the calls here on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this musical timeout. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Wes Wilson, Bryson Stott, and Johan Rojas scheduled to come to bat here in the bottom half of inning number 7. You do have a pitching change, as it is going to be Rafael Montero coming on in relief for the Atlanta Ball Club. He'll be the second pitcher used. So Montero to come in in relief. The 34-year-old right-hander is making his 20th appearance here for the Braves this year. This is his second team that he has been with. He came over from Houston earlier in the year. With the Braves this season, he's worked in 16 ball games. He's allowed 13 he's worked 13 in the third innings, allowing 10 hits, 7 runs, all of which have been earned. He has also in that time period walked 12 and struck out 14. And the first pitch he delivers to Wes Wilson is belted into deep left field. This ball is going to be trouble if it stays fair, and it looks like it is just going to hook foul. The Phillies fans are cheering down there because, man, in a Realmuto shirt has it, although Wilson is rounding the bases. I'm not so sure. I want to get another look at that one again. And so, too, do I think the Atlanta Braves. He's going to touch the plate because he thinks it's a home run, but I don't think it's a home run. I think that's a foul ball. We'll get a look at the replay here. Nah, I don't think so. Not in this league, not in this park, not in any league or any park. That looks like it is a foul ball by about 2 feet. You can tell because the angles, as the ball certainly in that spot. So he rounded the bases basically for nothing. So it's a long strike to Wilson. So he's back up. They didn't even have to challenge that. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. There's a breaking ball that misses just a little bit low. The count goes to 1-1 on Wilson. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Wilson batting from the right side against the righty Montero, who delivers a split finger pitch that misses inside. The count is 2-1. Split finger pitch from Montero seems to run more horizontally than it does vertically, as the pitch is a fastball that swung on and fouled away down the right field line, and the count runs even to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Wilson. Right-handed hitting left fielder of the Phillies gets himself dug back in. He's looking to get on base for the second time tonight. And there's another split finger pitch that misses down, and the count goes to 3-2. Wilson walked in the 5th inning. He was stranded at third. He also has flown out tonight. So here comes the payoff pitch from the right-hander. It is a breaking ball swung on and tap foul over on the third base side, and the count goes to 2-2. You could argue and say some of the best years of Montero's career were when he was with the Houston Astros organization. As the right-hander shakes off the signs from his catcher Baldwin, now he gets something that he likes. Here comes the 3-2 again. That one's a changeup that is swung on and lifted foul over on the first base side. The count remains full. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Right-hander Montero rocking himself into the windup, and he kicks and delivers. And there is a fastball that misses down. They appeal over to the first base umpire, but it is Shane Livensbarger says he didn't go, and that's going to be ball 4. So a leadoff walk here for Wilson to begin the 7th. That's going to bring up the second baseman and Bryson Stott. It's always a bit of a problem when you go to the bullpen here late in the game, especially, get these 7th and 8th inning guys. They come in, there's no doubt they throw hard, but the walks are a problem. They end up shooting themselves in the foot. Here comes the first pitch, and it's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count is 1-0 to Stott. Stott has a walk, and he's flown out in his 2 trips. Average on the season is dipped to 262. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there is a fastball taken for a called strike. That was of the split finger variety. So 1 ball and 1 strike to the left-handed hitting second baseman of the Phillies. Montero ready to go again. He checks the runner. He works himself to the set. Here comes the 1-1 offering. It's a fastball, another splitter that misses down, and the count goes to 2-1. I always think I had Deo Nomo when he first came over from Japan with his splitter, and how good it was when he first came in. And then once the big leaguers caught onto it, there's a fastball that is swung on and fouled away straight back into the seats, and the count is 2-2 to Stott. It did lose its effectiveness over time. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. The left-handed hitting second baseman of the Phillies as the right-hander holds himself to the set. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses down and away, and the count goes to 3-2. Montero has not been able to show that he can show that he can throw the splitter for a strike. He's just missing ever so slightly. here comes the payoff pitch. It's a fastball swung on, grounded to the right side. Olsen fields it. They go to second for one. Back to first. It's not going to be in time. That's going to be a fielder's choice. It's going to go 3-6 in the books to retire Wilson at second. Safe at first will be Stott. That's going to bring up the center fielder in Johan Rojas. Well, Rojas 0 for 2 tonight. He has flown to left and grounded to second in his 2 trips. As he comes to bat here with 1 gone in the 7th. So the right-hander Montero kicks and delivers. There's a first pitch fastball swung through and missed. Count is 0-1. That was at 95. I had a question early on one of on the Phillies feed. It was which 5 major league franchises had 7+ Cy Young awards. A lot of the ones that you could think of, obviously, with the Phillies in there, and think of the Braves and the Dodgers and the Yankees. There's a fastball swung through and missed. Count is now 0-2. One of my guesses would have been the Tigers at that point, because I have to say that the Tigers have had their share of Cy Young Award winners, certainly with Skubal being part of that last year as the pitch is on the way. Fastball that is swung on and lifted foul, and the count remains at 0-2 to Rojas. So no balls and 2 strikes again as Montero delivers. There's a fastball swung on and missed. Oh, that was way high up in the zone. Rojas went chasing. He had no chance to hit that. He's going to be in the books for the second out of the inning. It'll bring up the shortstop in Trey Turner. So that interesting statistic by team would be something I'd be curious to know. It was the Brooklyn Dodgers, by the way, the Braves, the Phillies, as we mentioned, and also the New York Mets are at 7. Orioles, Tigers, Indians, and actually Yankees are at 6. Sorry, I thought it was the Yankees, not the Mets. As that fastball misses upstairs, count is quickly 1-0 to Turner. Turner 0 for 2 and a hit by pitch tonight. Swings at a fastball, fouls it right off the mask of Drake Baldwin. That's, I think, the 3rd time tonight. 2 for sure, but I think it's the 3rd time Baldwin's got one flush off the mask. It always seems to go that way sometimes. You don't get hit for a month, and the next thing you know, you get multiple times in the course of a game. So here comes the 1-1 pitch, and it is a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. Oh, I took a little something off. That did Montero. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bottom of the 7th inning, Braves have an 8-0 lead over the Phillies. The second game of 2 here today. There's a fastball that swung on and it's lifted foul into the seats while behind home plate. And the count remains at 1-2 to Turner. As we mentioned, the second game of 2 days, the game earlier today was a makeup of yesterday's rainout. As the pitch on the way is a fastball that misses down and in, and the count goes even to 2-2. Another one of those split finger pitches that has been able to keep the Phillies hitters off balance. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses down and in. Count now 3-2 to Turner. Well, keep your eye on Stott. He'll be on the move here once the pitcher goes to the plate. As the right-hander Montero gets the sign from the catcher. And the 3-2 on the way. It is a breaking ball swung on, and another one fouled into the feet of the Phillies shortstop. So 3 balls and 2 strikes it remains. Kyle Schwarber waiting his turn on deck. This is not what you would want if you're a Brave fan. You want to make sure you take care of business here. Schwarber coming to bat with ducks on the pond could get you back in the game in a hurry. Here's the pitch. And there's a fastball swung on and missed, not caught by Baldwin. He's going to have to pick it up and tag Turner, and that is going to do it, as that's going to be the third out of the inning. And that will do it here. No runs in the inning, no hits, no errors. One runner left the board. We are now through 7 complete. It is the Braves 8 and the Phillies no score. Stick around, everyone. The 8th inning is just around the corner. Appreciate you guys for hanging here with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Be right back after this from our friend Matt.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
That's right, everybody. We appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us today on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be back in 30 after this musical timeout. Welcome back, everyone. It is going to be Brett DeGeis, I guess is how you would say his last name here. He has pitched in 60 career MLB games. He was recalled from a AAA Lehigh Valley today, originally a 33rd round draft pick by the Dodgers. He went to Cabrillo Community College in California. He originally was with the Texas Rangers and Arizona organizations at the big league level in 2021. He has been with 3 ball clubs this year. He started with the Mariners. He ended up in Miami and then Toronto and now here. So, sorry, that was in 2024. Now he is making his appearance for the first time in 2025 with the Phillies. As Alec Verdugo took the first pitch for a ball and then he swung and fouled away the second pitch. A career ERA of 7.48 in the 60 appearances. He's got 3 wins and 4 losses. All of his efforts have been in relief. As the pitch is a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. As the pitch is on the way, there's a fastball swung on, grounded softly up the middle into center field for a base hit. So Alec Verdugo leads off the 8th with a base hit. That's his first of the night. That'll bring up the center fielder in Michael Harris. So Harris 1 for 3 tonight. He had a single in his 3 trips. So just looking at this right-hander over time, I guess I would say DeGeis or DeGeese. As the pitch is on the way, there's a breaking ball that just misses. Or he went up with the right hand. That was rather late. So no balls and 1 strike to Harris. Ball was almost back into the pitcher's hand before the home plate umpire decided to go up with the right hand for a strike. As the pitch is a fastball that misses up and away, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Braves have scored in bunches tonight, 4 in the fourth, 2 in the sixth, 2 in the seventh to give them the 8-0 lead. As the pitch is on the way, there's a fastball that swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 1-2. So a ball and 2 strikes. Gracie Lynn said she had to step away. She's back in the house now. That's great. With a touchdown and extra point and a rouge on the board here, Canadian football rule style, the Braves are up 8-0. Fastball misses upstairs. The count goes to 2-2. And depending on how this pitcher does here, based on his history, there's chances for more runs to come. As the Geis holds to the set position, here's the pitch. Fastball swung on. Chopped to the right side. Fielded neatly by the first baseman, Bohm, who underhand flips it to the pitcher covering. Ground out 1-3 for the first out of the inning. Advancing to second is Verdugo. That's going to bring up the shortstop in Luke Williams. Now we're talking about hitting batters. Let's see what happens here. Gracie Lynn says that is absolutely correct on how you say it. But Rouge is R-O-U-G-E. As the pitch is on the way, there's a fastball swung on. Is grounded to short. Fielded neatly by Turner. He throws to first. That's going to retire Williams on a ground out 6-3 for the second out of the inning. Holding at second is Verdugo, and that is going to bring up Acuna Jr. to the plate. And for Ronald Acuna Jr., he is 0 for 3 tonight. Struck out twice, flown to center. And he has walked in his 4 trips. As he bats from the right side here against the Geis. Checks the runner at second. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball at 96 that misses outside. The count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Batting from the right side, Acuna waggling the bat. And the Geis delivers. There's a fastball that comes inside and just misses. The count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Again, the right-hander working himself into the set position. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right field. Moving back onto the warning track. And leaping up against the wall is Castellanos. He's going to haul that one in. That is going to do it. Acuna sent it a long way, just not long enough. Going to have to get into the weight room for a few more curls, and that is going to do it here in the top of the 8th inning. No runs, 1 hit. They strand the leadoff hitter, Verdugo. No errors and 1 left aboard. Moving to the bottom of the 8th inning, we're getting into the deep water here as the Phillies are down 8-0. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. We appreciate you all for being with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Right back after this. Here's our friend Steve again. We haven't heard from him in a bit.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OPC baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Thank you there, Steve. And your support of the channel is always thankful and for us. And we also like to say to everyone, be sure to check out Steve when you get a chance. We'll be back in 30 right after this. Welcome back, everybody. We have a pitching change as the Braves are going to their bullpen. It is going to be the right-hander Michael Peterson, the 31-year-old, who is only making his second appearance of the 2025 season. He has appeared in one game. He has pitched in 2 innings. He has not allowed a hit nor a run in his time of work, and his ERA is of 0. So the big fella here on the mound, he's going to be facing Kyle Schwarber. And welcome to face Schwarber. In the first pitch fastball is swung through and missed, and the count is 0-1. Schwarber 0 for 2 tonight. He's also drawn a walk. As Peterson ready to go again here. And he kicks and fires. There's a fastball at 99, swung through and missed, the count is 0-2. Appeared with both the Dodgers and the Marlins organizations last year. He was originally born in Middlesex in the UK. Went to Riverside Community College in California. So it was a non-drafted player, made his debut last year as the right-hander ready to deliver an 0-2 pitch on its way. And there's a fastball at 99, swung on and fouled away. Count remains at 0-2. With his time with the Dodgers organization, he was 3-0 last year in 11 games. He'd worked 14 innings, and then he was with the Marlins. He worked 5 games for them. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball that misses down. As that ball gets away. So he has been with a few different organizations over his time period. He was actually with the British national team in 2023 for the Classic, as the 1-2 pitch is ready to come on its way. Fastball misses outside. It's now 2-2 to Schwarber. So interesting that he was with some different clubs. Started his professional career with the Milwaukee Brewers way back in 2015, 10 years ago. Fastball swung on and fouled away. Count remains at 2s to Schwarber. And then he ended up in the Rockies organization for a little bit. And of course, with the Dodgers. And he was up and down like a yo-yo quite a bit last year with the Dodgers organization. As we said, he also had spent some time with the Marlins. There's a ball that's chopped over the head of the pitcher, fielded barehanded by Williams, but it's not going to be in time. Even Schwarber able to leg that one out. He's got himself an infield single. We'll have to watch that one again. That ball was driven into the ground, and it was right over the head of the pitcher. Had a little bit of English on it when it came down, so to speak, but Williams not able to do it. I don't know if that actually hit the ground. Like, it looked like he checked his swing and may have looped it over the head of the pitcher. I thought at first it would chop down, but it might have just been kind of bloop popped over the head of the pitcher. Regardless, he's aboard with a single. That brings Alec Bohm to the plate. And the first pitch to Bohm is a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right field, moving back onto the warning track and making the catch is Acuna Jr. That's going to retire Bohm for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up the right fielder in Nick Castellanos. And then it was a busy offseason for the aforementioned Peterson. He was claimed off waivers from the Marlins by the Blue Jays. Blue Jays then DFA'd him in February, where he was picked up by the Angels. And then he was with the Angels pretty much till the end of April. And then he was traded at the beginning of the year to the Braves. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into left center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Cutting it off is Michael Harris II. He fires it in to second base, and it was behind the runner, the trail runner. Castellanos is going to get himself in there safely with a double. Stopping at third is Schwarber. That is going to bring up the catcher and JT Realmuto. Gracie Lynn said she forgot that Peterson was on the Braves. Yeah, well, I think he was just recalled here recently. He's got himself in a bit of a jam here. He's runners at second and third. I mean, there's no doubt he throws the ball hard. There's a lot of relievers throw the ball hard, but he leaves it up in the zone quite a bit. There's a fastball at a cutter at 90 taken for a called strike. The count's 0-1 because he can run his fastball up to 100 miles an hour. But most major league hitters can still hit that pitch if there's not a lot of life, not a lot of movement. And the 0-1 on the way, it's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-1. I have to say, I don't know if I've seen, other than the heat that he throws, and he threw a cutter, obviously, to open up Realmuto. I'm not really sure what else he's got in his arsenal, but you have to have at least one pitch that you can get somebody out with. As the pitch is on the way, there's a fastball that misses down and in, and the count now goes to 2-1 on Realmuto. So Gracie Lynn asked the question is, who did they trade away to get him? By the look of it, it sounds like it might have been just cash or the always popular to be named later. Ground ball over to short. Williams fields it. He throws to first. That's going to get the run in. So the Phillies have broken the ice. Schwarber comes in to score. Realmuto grounds out 6-3 for the second out of the inning. Castellanos stays put at second. Phillies have cut the lead now to 8-1. And it brings Edmundo Sosa to the plate with a runner at second and 2 gone. Just getting a kick out of somebody, and they had a beer can showed of somebody's beer. $17 a beer in Seattle. They can keep the beer, as there's a fastball taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1 to Sosa. I don't mind a beer now and again, and thinking about having a beer after the game, but not at $17. It's crazy. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is popped up in shallow left field. It's going to get down over the head of Williams. Rounding third and heading home is Castellanos. And picking it up was Verdugo, and he had to make one of the worst throws I've ever seen as the ball barely got past the dirt of the infield. He turns around and he has to chuckle, but I got to chuckle too because that had to be absolutely horrendous. I got to see that again. Picked it up. So he's probably about 10 yards away from the dirt of the infield. And when he released the ball, it didn't even make it to the infield dirt. It was that bad. Hit on the outfield grass. Matt Olson had to field it on about 3 hops. So the first pitch fastball delivered to Wes Wilson's taken for a called strike. Regardless, an RBI single off the bat of Sosa, cutting the lead to 8-2. Phillies got something to cheer about in their dugout. Michael Peterson, the way it's looking for him, he's going to have an express ticket back to Gwinnett. As that fastball misses outside, the count is now 1-1. Kind of feel bad for him in a way. He's got power in the arm, just doesn't have a whole lot going outside of that. So here comes the 1-1 pitch. Fastball at 98, swung on and missed. The count is 1-2. When you're playing against college players and others, that 98 might be able to roll right by hitters, but playing against the Philadelphia Phillies, that may not be the case. So 8-2 is the lead. There's action now up and throwing in the Brave bullpen. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike 3. Wilson stood there like the house by the side of the road. He watched it go by, and that's going to do it for the Phillies here in their half of inning number 8. Well, they show some life. They got a couple of runs on 3 hits. There was no errors and 1 left aboard. Now moving to the top of the 9th inning, your score is the Braves 8 and the Phillies 2. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys hanging with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be back after this.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's another Hollis build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everyone. It is going to be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters slated to come to bat for the Braves in inning number 9. That means it's going to be Drake Baldwin, Marcell Ozuna, and Matt Williams, as they are going to be coming back here to face the right-hander Brett DeGeis here for his second inning of work. Came on in the 8th inning. He got 3 of the 4 batters that he faced, and the first pitch breaking ball is taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. That pitch was up in the zone, but the guy's able to get the call. So no balls and 1 strike as the left-handed hitting Baldwin waits. Breaking ball misses down and away, and the count goes to even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Right-hander DeGeis working himself into the set position. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball swung on and a lifted foul down the left field line. Count goes now to 1-2. So 1-2 to the Braves catcher. Got the right-hander working himself into the set position. Pitch on the way. Another fastball swung on and another one lifted foul down the left field line, and the count remains at 1-2. It is Raisel Iglesias up and throwing now in the bullpen for the Braves. Interesting, as he has been their closer, so he must be up wanting to get some work. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count now goes even to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Guy's not in agreement with his catcher, Realmuto, as he shakes him off a couple of times, and now Realmuto has asked for time. He's going to come out and talk to the young right-hander. Probably telling him, you throw the pitch, or I'll make the call. You got that one. Gracie Lynn was thinking about the trade on March 23rd when the Braves traded away Ian Anderson for Jose Suarez. Yeah, that trade was a bit of a head-scratcher for Ian Anderson. There's a ball that's hit and it's fouled away down the right field line. Count is 2-2. I thought Ian Anderson was pretty good in the playoffs a couple of years ago. Just the wheels really fell off. He had a real tough year last year. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now remains at 2-2, so it's turning into a battle here. Gracie Lynn says she thinks Raisel Iglesias has probably, and rightfully so, lost the closer job for a while, possibly to get his head sorted out a bit. Yeah, I saw him pitch earlier this year, and it wasn't very good. There's a breaking ball swung on, grounded over to second. Fielded neatly by the second baseman Stott, who throws to first, and Baldwin's gone for the first out of the inning, ground out 4-3. It's going to bring up the designated hitter in Marcell Ozuna. Well, for Ozuna, he is a 1 for 3. He's also drawn a walk. But as the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a fastball that misses upstairs. The count is 1-0 to Ozuna. So no balls, 1 strike. Sorry, 1 ball and no strikes. Pitch on the way. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, way upstairs. It's now 2-0. So the Geis losing some command of his pitches here as the right-hander works to the set. Now fires. Fastball at 95, missing down and in. He's been all over the place here. In some ways, it's the repeatability or lack of repeatability of his pitches. So DeGeis again working himself to the set. Now he fires. Fastball right down the middle, and it's now 3-1. Osuna was backing out of the way. Probably thinking, I don't want to get hit with this pitch here on ball 4. Let it land wherever it is. Here comes the 3-1 as DeGeis holds set. There is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count now runs full to Ozuna. Ozuna has hit in 3 trips and a walk. He struck out looking his last time up. Wasn't particularly impressed with the call of the plate umpire. And there is a breaking ball that misses upstairs. It's going to be ball 4, and Ozuna's going to get himself aboard with a 1-out walk, and that'll bring up the first baseman and Matt Olson. Gracie Lynn said the only upside to the Ian Anderson trade is that the Angels cut him and he ended up back in Atlanta. So the net return was Jose Suarez for free. Yeah, that's a pretty good return. That'd be a typical Angel trade. Fastball misses up and in, and the count is 1-0. I guess that's what the cost is for a free look. Hey, we'll like to take a look at your guy who we thought was pretty good and one-time prospect. We'll give you this player to look at him for free for a couple months until we make our own decisions. Fastball misses down, and the count is now 2-0 to Olson. And DeGeis has forgotten how to throw strikes. So here comes the 2-0 offering as the right-hander kicks and fires. Fastball taken for a called strike. Count goes to 2-1. I remember having pitchers like that. They couldn't hit the broadside of a barn, and all of a sudden they show up one day and they're dealing. Maybe they hit their head on their way out of bed one morning and their eyes align and they're ready to go. Maybe that is DeGeis. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. The count is 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike. And the right-hander nodding in agreement as he works himself into the set. Now delivers. There's a fastball swung on and lifted foul down the left field line. And that's going to run the count full to Matt Olson. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Gracie Lynn said what happened was he had some small injury with the Angels and they cut him. Braves signed him and put him on the injured list. That's kind of funny. Fastball misses down, and that's going to be ball 4. So back-to-back walks issued here to Ozuna and Olson. That's going to bring up Austin Riley. Riley's had a big night tonight. He has driven in half of the Atlanta runs. He is 2 for 3. He's got a double, a home run, 4 RBIs. He's scored 3 himself. So he's been a part of 7 of the 8 runs tonight here by the Braves. And the pitch is on the way. It's a breaking ball that misses in the left-handed batter's box, and the count goes to 1-0. So right in front of our eyes, DeGeis is having a case of the yips. Gracie Lynn said, yeah, then they DFA'd him and they put him on waivers. There's a fastball that misses inside. The count now goes to 2-0 on Riley. I don't know what's going on in the Philly bullpen, but I know it's a 6-run lead, but it might be time to have somebody up and throwing because right now DeGeis has all over the map. As here comes the offering, the 2-0 on the way. It's a fastball that catches the inside corner for a called strike. It's now 2-1 to Riley. I don't know if DeGeis knows where it's going. I don't know if Riley knows where it's going. He is living right now below the 50% rule in the strike department. We're actually right at the 50% rule. Not anymore. There's a fastball at 96 that misses inside. It's now 3-1 to Riley. So DeGeis has thrown 37 pitches. 19 of them have been for balls. And the 3-1 on the way here. There's a fastball that misses outside, and he has walked the bases loaded. So not a single bat off the shoulder of the Braves hitters to put a ball in play. He has walked Ozuna, Olsen, and Riley. It's going to bring Ozzie Albies to the plate. It's going to bring the pitching coach out of the Philadelphia dugout. So on a trot to the mound is Caleb Cotham. Surprised he didn't come out after the second walk. And our friend Gracie Lynn says in the chat, back to AAA, she's referring to that of Ian Anderson, but the way DeGeis is pitching here, he might be on a fast track to the same location. It's too bad. So I don't know what the conversation's about. It's kind of animated. I think he's out there talking to him a little bit. Probably saying, like, look, the bus is getting ready here to take you back to Lehigh Valley if we don't start figuring this out pretty quick. I wonder if that would motivate him. It certainly would motivate me. If you've ever seen where Lehigh Valley plays, wouldn't want to be on a bus there. Well, that brings Albies to the plate. He's 1 for 3 tonight. He's got a homer and a couple RBIs. He's also popped the first and popped the short. The first pitch is a fastball for a strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. Albies batting from the left side here. He's raised his average to 242 tonight. As the pitch is on the way, there's a fastball swung on his tap foul just past the bag at first base, and now DeGeis is ahead in the count. So whatever Cotham had said to him, you might want to whisper that in his ear a little bit more regularly as he's ahead in the count at 0-2. They do have a righty Max Lazar up in the bullpen throwing. Do the Phillies, but one would think that you probably don't want him to enter the ball game here at this point. You want to finish it off with DeGeis. So way ahead in the count at 0-2. Here comes the pitch. It's on the way, and it is a breaking ball that comes inside. It almost hit Albies. He went down like he was shot face first to the ground. That ball misses inside. It's 1-2 to Albies. Going to look at the replay on that. It was a breaking ball. He was able to get himself just barely out of the way. And here comes the pitch. A fastball that is swung on and lifted foul down the left field line, and the count remains at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. So DeGeis getting the sign from his catcher. He's nodding in agreement, and here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded softly over to first. The only play is going to go to the right side of the infield. The only play is going to be to first. It was fielded by Stott. He underhand flips it over, so it's going to be a ground out 4-3. Albies is going to get himself an RBI. Into score comes Ozuna. That makes the score line 9-2. Advancing to third is Olsen. Advancing to second is Riley. Puts 2 out here, and it's going to bring up the left fielder, Alex Verdugo. As the first pitch is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Verdugo. Gracie Lynn says, for selfish purposes, she wants the Braves to show no mercy, so it gets back to Acuna. Yeah, you only got another 4 more batters to go. Maybe he comes up and can do something. There's a fastball missing upstairs. The count goes to 1-1. 45 pitches delivered by DeGeis. 24 of them have been for 23 of them have been for strikes. Fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Verdugo. 9-2, the Braves have the lead here in the top of the 9th inning as they are laying the wood to the Phillies, the back end of this doubleheader. It was a close game in the opener with the Phillies coming out on top 5-4. There's a fastball swung on, is lifted into straightaway center field. Coming in is Rojas. He's there to make the catch, and that is going to do it as Verdugo is going to be gone for the 3rd out of the inning. But the Braves get one back here. 1 run in the inning, no hits. There was no errors, and there was a pair of runners left aboard. We are now moving to the bottom of the 9th inning. 2 things are about to happen, everybody. Either the Phillies are going to make the greatest comeback in Major League history, or the Braves are going to seal the deal and win this one here tonight. We'll be right back in just a few. We appreciate you guys for listening on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Be right back after this. We're going to the bottom of the ninth inning where the Braves have a commanding stranglehold over the Phillies 9-2. Bottom of the ninth is just around the corner. We'll be back right after this.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. That's right, everybody. We know baseball, and we know that the Phillies are down by a touchdown and an extra point. 9-2, the Braves have the lead. It'll be Bryson Stott, Johan Rojas, and the top of the order, Trey Turner, to come to bat here in the bottom of the ninth inning for the Phillies. We do have ourselves a pitching change, as it is going to be the right-hander Raciel Iglesias coming into the ballgame, the once-upon-a-time closer. At 35 years old, has had a difficult campaign this year. He's got a record of 3-4 in 21 ball games. He does have 8 saves. He's worked 20 and a third innings. He's allowed 23 hits, 14 runs, 13 have been earned, walking 4 and striking out 21. He was the closer with the Reds and the Angels. This is basically his 4th season in a Brave uniform, but he has struggled mightily to this point this year. But one would think a 7-run lead will be intact, even though it's not a save situation. First pitch fastball misses outside the Stott. The count is quickly 1-0. Iglesias delivers a fastball that's taken for a called strike. The count goes even at 1s. Right-hander getting his sign and working extremely quickly as the pitch is on the way. Another fastball misses up and away, and the count goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to the left-handed hitting second baseman of the Phillies, as the right-hander delivers again. Fastball swung on and missed. Count now goes to 2-2 on Bryson Stott. Right-hander kicks and fires. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 2-2. So 2-2 to Stott. Again, the right-hander ready to face the lefty again on the pitch on the way. There's a fastball that misses down. Iglesias falls to the ground. He's going to need a little time. He has to do some gardening here at the end of the pitcher's mound, because he ended up falling right to his backside. So it looks like he lost his ability. It was interesting. Actually, he planted and landed, and it was like his cleats gave out as he was finishing the pitch. That was very strange. So count full here to Stott, as the right-hander ready to go again. He kicks and fires. There's a fastball swung on. It's lifted foul into the seats behind the third base dugout, and the count remains full at 3-2. Iglesias there just playing with his footing a little bit, as the 3-2 is ready to come again. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, lifted into deep left field. Moving back onto the warning track is Verdugo, and he's going to play it off the wall. Rounding first, heading into second with a double is going to be Stott. So the Phillies get themselves a leadoff double here, and that's going to bring Johan Rojas to the plate. Well, the Phillies not giving up at any point in time here. That is their 6th hit of the ball game, and 4 of the 6 hits have come after the 7th inning. So Stott is at second. It brings Johan Rojas to the plate. As the right-hander ready to go, he kicks and fires. There's a fastball at 95, taken for a called strike. That was pretty quick, close to being a balk, at least in my eyes. I don't know if you're going to want to call one on a 9-2 lead, unless he maybe does it again. As the pitch on the way, fastball swung on, grounded over to short. Fielded by Williams, he throws to first, and Rojas is in the books on a ground out 6-3. Advancing to third is Stott. That's going to bring up the top of the order in Trey Turner. So Turner coming to bat, 0 for 3 tonight. He's also been hit by a pitch. He has struck out twice and flown to center. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. Count is quickly 0-1 to Turner. So no balls and 1 strike. Right-hander against the right-hander. Iglesias working to the set. Now delivers. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. Turner waggling the bat as the right-hander ready to deliver again. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, grounded up the middle, and that's going to get a run back here. As Stott is going to come in to score an RBI single off the bat of Turner, as that has cut the lead to 9-3. That'll bring up the designated hitter in Kyle Schwarber. Well, for Schwarber, he is 1 for 3 tonight. He's also drawn a walk. As Iglesias are ready to face the left-handed hitting DH of the Phillies. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses down and away. So 1 ball and no strikes to Schwarber. As there is a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count's 1-1. Our friend Gracie Lynn says, even with a 9-2 lead, Iglesias can't settle down and play his game. Yeah, he's all over the place. There is a changeup that is waved at and missed, and the count now goes to 1-2. Yeah, at this point in time in the game, you got a 7-run lead. All you got to do is just come in and work on hitting your spots, working inside out, whatever you got to do. Not like you got to blow guys away. And there's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. And that is going to retire Schwarber. He's gone for the 2nd out of the inning. That'll bring up Alec Bohm to the plate. So far, 17 pitches for Iglesias. And he has thrown 12 for strikes. So it's not like he hasn't thrown strikes. That's a good thing, actually. So that brings up Alec Bohm to the plate. The first pitch to Bohm is a fastball that misses down for ball 1. Bohm tonight is officially 1 for 4. He's singled, he's struck out, grounded out, and flown out. Hitting .272 on the year as he swings through a fastball, and the count goes even at 1-1. Phillies are down to their final out here, as Bohm is even in the count 1-1 here with Iglesias. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, lifted into straightaway center field. This ball could be trouble. Back on the warning track. And he makes the catch. Does he make the catch against the fence? Yes, he does. Right at the deepest part of the park is Michael Harris. And that is going to do it as Bohm is retired for the 3rd out of the inning. And that will do it here for the Phillies in their half of the ninth. They had 1 run in the inning. They had 2 hits. There was no errors and 1 runner left aboard. Your final score is the Braves 9, the Phillies 3. Our friend the hobbyist jumps back in off the top rope, and he says, go Braves. Well, yeah, tonight, definitely go Braves, because that is for sure. We're going to be back in just a moment, everybody. We'll wrap it up. We'll give you the out-of-town scoreboard. We'll give you the thoughts on this one, and then we will call it a night. But hang tight, everybody. It is the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel, and for all our Braves fans that are in here with us, this one's for you, Austin Riley, knocking in half the team's runs tonight. Welcome back, everybody. Our friend Chris the Hobbyist says, have a great night, and we appreciate you for popping in here, Chris, earlier and later. And of course, our friend Gracie Lynn hanging out with us here tonight. I'm going to give you the recap on this one here. We'll look at the out-of-town scoreboard, answer a couple questions, and then we'll call it a night. The Braves got the scoring going in the fourth inning. It was with one out. Zach Wheeler had not allowed a hit to that point. Then he gave up a single to Ozuna, a double to Matt Olson. Austin Riley doubled home Ozuna and Olson. And then Ozzie Albies stepped up and deposited a 2-run homer into the first row of the right field stands to make the score 4-0. Braves added 2 more in the sixth. With one out, they had back-to-back walks to Riley and Albies. And then Verdugo popped out to third. Harris singled. And Luke Williams had a 2-run single down the right field line to bring home 2 more runs for the Braves to make the scoreline 6-0. They added 2 more in the seventh. It was a walk to Drake Baldwin to lead off the seventh. And after a strikeout by Ozuna and a flyout by Olson, Austin Riley stepped up and deposited a 2-run homer into the left center field seats to make the scoreline 8-0. Well, the Phillies got a couple back in their half of inning number 8. A leadoff single by Kyle Schwarber, and with one out, a double by Nick Castellanos. And with 2 outs, Edmundo Sosa stepped up and drove home a pair of runs with a base hit single to make the scoreline 8-2. Well, in the top of the ninth inning, the Braves got one of those runs back after a ground out by Drake Baldwin. It was back-to-back walks issued to Ozuna, Olson, and Riley. Ozzie Albies grounded out to bring home in the 9th run for the Braves. And then in the bottom of the 9th inning, the Phillies leadoff double by Bryson Stott. After a ground out by Rojas, up stepped Trey Turner with an RBI single, and that made the scoreline 9-3, and that was the final in this one. Looking at the out-of-town scoreboard, as there are other games that are going on across Major League Baseball, and of course, one other final here today, which happened to be between these same 2 ball clubs. The Braves lost the opener to the Phillies today, 5-4. 5-10-0 for the Phillies, 4-13-0 for the Braves. Ruiz got the win. Hernandez took the loss, and Jordan Romano got his 8th save of the year. Another final in Toronto, the Blue Jays laid a beatdown on the Athletics, 12-0. 12-18-0 for the Jays, 0-4-0 for the Athletics. Jose Barrios gets his 2nd win of the year. He's even at 2-2. Lopez takes the loss for the Athletics. He's 0-3. And the only game going on right now in Major League Baseball, it is 0-0 Mariners and the Nationals. That is through 1 inning. No runs, no hits, 1 error for the Nats, no runs, 1 hit, no errors for the Mariners early on in that one. Our friend Gracie Lynn, we appreciate you for popping in here today. She says she's going to, after that losing stretch, they got to get back on track. They're still not quite at 500 yet. I think they're 3 games below or 4 games below. But they are back on track. The first game today was a great one, or at least the outcome. The game was entertaining. She says Tampa and Houston is on right now. Not sure, that must be some other sport other than baseball. But we appreciate that you had popped in to listen with us again tonight. We're going to look to do the game between the Cubs and the Reds tomorrow. That would be at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 a.m. if you're on the Eastern time zone. And then what we're looking to do is we will bounce over and call some Japanese baseball tomorrow night. Looks like it'll be Tigers and Carp from Hiroshima. If you're on the channel, come on by and listen in. That will be our delicacy over the next 2 evenings. We appreciate you guys for being here, and we thank you. Our friend Gracie Lynn says, no, it is Tampa and Houston who is going on tonight. And you are correct. I did miss one scoreline. It is the Rays beating the Astros 3-2 in the bottom of the 5th inning. That is the other game that is underway. It is moving to the bottom half of the 5th. Rays are in the lead. All right, everybody. Once again, appreciate you guys for being here. We look forward to catching up with you again later on in the week. Tomorrow, come on by and check us out either early or late, but we will be here nonetheless. Thanks again, Gracie Lynn. You have a great night, and we will see you soon.